Downsizing Diva, and I'm here to stay. Feeling good, taking my GLP-1 medicine. One whole year, wiped away my fears. Done 60 pounds, but that's no all. I kept on going even through the storms. My A1C went down. I still have work to do. Just when you thought I was done, my high blood pressure went down too. Feeling good, taking my diabetes, weigh one less. I have a great story to tell. I'm on the road to lose 100 pounds. Can I do it in 2025? Yes, I can. Downsizing Diva, and I'm here to stay. Feeling good, taking my GLP-1
Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday. I'm so excited that it is Friday. I cannot say that enough. So it's Friday morning. And I don't know, it's Friday a payday for you guys? I always think about this song, just got paid Friday night, but it's Friday morning. I don't even know if it's a payday for me. I have to look that up. I don't think so. What's it? 410. Okay. All right. So nevertheless, it is Friday. The weekend is here. I was not looking forward to this weekend because this ends my spring break. And, I miss the kids. I miss the hustle and bustle. But I just love the freedom of, getting up, leisurely and not getting up, having somewhere that I have to report to, if that's a thing. So I'm excited. It's Friday. So what about you guys? Now, I thought, again, it could just be me and and my shadow on this live today because I figured people are at work, but I actually have some people in the chat. So let me welcome them. We got Mail to the B. She says, happy Friday, Dee and Friends. Friday, Dee and Friends. We love that. Thank you, Mail. Hit that like button. If you're coming in the chat to chat it up with me, hit the like button on the way in. If you're watching, hit that like button as well. We appreciate that. If you're in the mobile chat, you can come and join us in the regular chat for some more interaction, and I can actually see your comments. So I love that. Wait a minute. We got Devin. How are you? I was reading your comment. I was saying, how old are you? My dad is 78. I'm confused about 78 or 79, but I'm going with 78. It's a nice number. I'm pretty sure it's 78, though. Is it 76? Jeez Louise, Devin, you got me thinking so early on a Friday. Yes. Okay. You said I wouldn't want my mom on it because she will lose muscle and not eat enough protein or lift. Yes, I can see that. That's fair. That's fair. All right. But I say, well, is she doing that now, though, without the Zepbound? You know what I'm saying? So, because I think when people say that, it's kind of like people saying, like, why are you taking the medicine? Something could go wrong and happen to you. But something could happen to me if I don't take it, too. I could be obese. I could have all kind of, high blood pressure, diabetes. We know for a fact that will eventually kill you, most people, right? So I just say, the lesser of two evils, if you want to put it that way. So my question to you, Devin, is your mom eating enough protein now? Is she losing muscle now? Do you know if she's doing those things? Because if not, this little boost is going to help her. And you know what? Not for nothing. A lot of us weren't doing those things before the GLP-1, but guess what? It motivated us to actually do it. So I would look at it like that. Again, I'm a glass half full person. So that's where I'm coming from on that. Let me put on my glasses because you guys are making me think so early. Jeez, Louise. All right. So Mel said that's an interesting point. My mom might, but God knows I can't handle I can't get her to do much of what I ask. So there's that. Yes. But I'm saying, Mel, if your mom is somebody who actually needs it and can benefit from it, is she doing all those things now? So maybe if she took the GLP-1, she's going to get energy that it's going to lessen that inflammation and it's going to motivate her to actually do it. I know in my case, it motivated, I had more energy to move around and do things. Now, I'm not a big fan of like going outside and sweating to the oldies, but I still have even done it since I've been on this GLP-1. I never thought I'd be walking outside. I don't do it on a regular basis, but I've done it. That's because of the GLP-1. I probably would have never done it before that. So that's what I'm just saying. I think it's a tool, it's a resource, it's a boost. Now, if you're somebody who's doing all those things without the GLP-1 and then you're still having issues, I would check and see like what else is going on with you. Because I would venture, if you're lifting weights and if you're moving and you're eating protein already, you're probably not obese. I could be wrong, but you're probably doing some of the great things, because we know it's all about nutrition and what you're eating. So I don't know. Are you eating fried chicken and still lifting 300 pounds? That doesn't sound like it goes hand in hand. But I don't know. I don't know what the folks are doing. All right. So let's see. Jamie. Hey, Jamie. How are you? It's good to see you. Oh, my goodness. How are you feeling today? And how are you, Ange? How are you feeling? How are you feeling on this Friday? Oh, somebody's telling Mel how great she looks in that bodysuit. She's snatched, isn't she? Snatched and lifting weights too. I love that for her. Tanya, hey Tanya, how are you? Tanya Thompson. I love that name. Tanya Thompson, TT in the house. Nicole, how are you? I know another Nicole. Nicole, you said good morning. It's the first time you're watching live. I love that. Now, talk about my dad, Devin. He's calling right now. Hold on a sec. Okay, that was my dad. He had a call. So now I got to make a phone call after his phone call. Okay, so I'm going to throw out a question out there and then I'm going to make my phone call and then we'll go back in the chat. But wait a minute. Kim, good morning. How are you? How are you? So Nicole, let me go back to Nicole and Kim. So we got Kim. She says, good morning, Dee Dee and chat. Cute picture. Love it, love it, love it. I love these, you know, how you can make yourself look like animated like that. I think it's so, I don't know if animated is the word because you're not actually moving, but I think it's so cute. And Nicole, I'm so glad that you could watch live. I am so glad. So hopefully you'll participate in the chat. It's good to have you here. I'm excited. You said your mom is 75 and she gets a kick out of using resistance bands and the kettlebell that you got her. They might do it after being introduced. Actually, that is true. Very good. Go mom. Go mom. Go mom. Go mom. You said, okay, she's average weight, but this could help with other health markers. Very good. Yeah, I agree with that. Fly you out. Well, honey, where do you want to be flew out to? Oh, good morning. How are you? How are you? I love that. Good morning. Loving your profile pic. And she's saying happy Friday. Okay, so you guys know today we are talking about, I mentioned this before, and I never really did a follow-up with what was going on with my dad because it's still just kind of, it's just kind of been out there. And I think we have like things settled now. So I thought I'll talk about it now. I'm not going to say a whole lot about his, medical business because, he's not into that. I wonder, I don't think he knows I'm on here. He'd probably be telling me, girl, what are you talking about? But no, he wouldn't care. I told him, I'd probably share with my group his experience because I think it can help somebody. So as you know, if you read the title, my dad was denied Zepbound. And one of the things I wondered from this perspective is, are GLP-1s only for obese people? Because that's the reason why my dad was rejected. Now, the reason why I tried to get him to take Zepbound is because he has sleep apnea. Now he has that CPAP machine. It comes off when he's sleeping. He can never keep it on. We've watched him overnight. He took the sleep study to determine he had it. So, and then we watched him overnight with that CPAP machine. It comes off. He doesn't bother to put it on. He doesn't like it. It's intrusive in his mind. And so, you know how when people get a certain age, they want to do what they've always done. They really don't want to be introduced to anything new and different. And I just think that's a big part of the problem. This was new and different. And he just didn't want to do it. So, anyway, that is why I thought Zepbound would be a great option. Plus, he has that belly going on. Now, if you look at him, you probably wouldn't classify him as obese. He's a pretty tall guy. I want to say he might be 6 feet tall. Yeah, I have to get his exact, but he's a taller guy. Like, he's tall, and he's developed a little bit of a belly. You know, he's retired, fabulously retired, but he does part-time work just to keep busy, to keep him going. So he does that, and so in 4 hours a day, which is good because it keeps him moving. It's a job where he's active. So, and he drinks a ton of water. Like, he's one of those people, you get those 16-ounce bottles of water, and I mean, he guzzles it down. Like, he guzzles it down in like 2 seconds. So he does drink a lot of water, but I think he's starting to slow down. His metabolism is starting to slow down as well. And he just was picking up weight, especially in his belly. But he had dental work done. And when he had this dental work done, he started having pain, and he's been having struggles ever since. Like, they're still doing whatever they're doing to fix his dental situation. So he had the dental pain going on. So that zapped his appetite, and he also couldn't really eat. Like, so he'll say, like, I don't eat. Well, in his mind, because he's not eating a lot of meat, he's not eating. But honey, he's eating everything else. But because he was a big meat eater and a protein eater, he's not like, he doesn't lead with carbs, he leads with those proteins. And because he was a big protein eater, not eating that, he lost weight, which takes us to the Zepbound coverage. So he has a lot going on. The one thing he does not have going on is diabetes. He does not have that. But he has everything else, I feel like, under the sun going on. But yet he was still denied Zepbound. And I just couldn't believe it. And the main thing is because his BMI was 20. Now I think it's 28, but it was 20. It was 28 28. I think it's still 28. So so this was probably like in, I want to say November, December, maybe November, December. And so when he went back in January to see a different specialty doctor, he was still considered a BMI of 28. Well, the guidelines say you have to have a BMI of 30 or higher, or you can have a BMI of 27. But you also have to have other health problems like high blood pressure. Well, his is regulated with medication, high cholesterol. All this stuff is regulated with medication. It's not like he's regulating it on his own with his healthy lifestyle. Type 2 diabetes he does not have, or sleep apnea, which he has. So I'm thinking, bingo, he's going to qualify. Well, basically, it's his insurance. So, it's the factor. They won't qualify it. And so we were trying to have a specialty doctor. He has a kidney specialist that he works with. We were trying to have that doctor, work with him. And so that doctor ended up telling us that, he was looking at Zepbound as an option, but he wanted to try something else first. And it was so frustrating. And in the meantime, we were trying to think of what we could do because we saw the kidney doctor in January. So we were to think about what we could do to like plump him up between the November and the new year, right? Because we wanted him back. I'm pretty sure he would have been at that 30 because that dental work kicked in. The dental situation happened. He wasn't eating as much, and he lost like 20 pounds. So if he had been, and it could be more than that, but he lost a lot of weight because he, just wouldn't eat and didn't have a desire to eat. It was painful to eat. And the little stuff he was eating wasn't sticking to him. And I also think at his age, he has a high metabolism as well. So he has all that going on. So yeah, so we were trying to think of, and I'm not going to stay on here what we were doing. I say that maybe for my inner circle group, some strategies that we were given to kind of help him with his situation. So at this point, I do want to shout out my girl, Allie from Fit Flavor Fun. I was talking with her, and my dad was there too. And she was giving us, she's like, she calls herself the GLP-1 advocate. And I say she's the cutest little advocate I know. And she was giving my dad some tips, and me and my dad some tips on what we could do to, kind of help out with this situation. And he didn't really want to do the telehealth. I guess we could have went to the telehealth route. But after we met with his second doctor, the kidney doctor, I went with what the kidney doctor said. We're going to look and see in 3 months, from maybe 3 to 6 months. So maybe in June, I think we have our next appointment. We're going to see the medication he's on, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to get all up in his business. It's not Zepbound. It's not a GLP-1, but the kidney doctor thought that this would be really helpful with his kidneys, and even could help with sleep apnea and everything else down the line eventually, that this medication could. So we will see. So if this medication doesn't work, the specialist was telling us that we have a better chance of that, with his insurance, of getting him on that Zepbound. So that would be like the second thing he wanted to try, not the first, which I think I've heard that over my GLP-1, little experience here, where people, their first, the insurance company denied Zepbound or Mounjaro, and they had to go with Wegovy, Saxenda, or something else before they could do, or even taking metformin. Like if you were diabetic, some of the people were saying their doctors wanted them to take that first, or the insurance. I don't know if the insurance company said it or the doctor said it, but there was something they wanted them to do even before taking the medication for diabetes. So, these insurance companies are trying to do, I feel like, everything they can to avoid the cost of these medications, sort of like us, right? Right? They're trying to do everything they can. And so, it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? So, I said all that to just to give you a little history of, what was going on with my dad. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you are obese, who knows what your BMI needs to be considered obese. If you're in the chat, put that in the chat. If you're not in the chat, think about that at home and let us know. What do you think? What does your BMI have to be in order to be considered obese? If you're in the chat, put that in the chat. And real quick, I gotta make. Let me say. So he's at a 28. So what does the BMI have to be? Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. Becky, how are you? Good morning. Happy Friday. Let's see. Oh, happy Friday. How are you, twin? Dee Dee, your lips are popping. My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is good. All the boys be stopping. You guys know that song. My daughter sings that little song. I'm like, cut that out when you get to that part. Geez, Louise, I don't want to be stressed out at 9 years old. Okay, I wonder when the Lancet Commission study will trickle down to the greater health community. Came out in 2025. I don't know. I don't know. Would they do another study a year later? Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. What are we drinking? What are we drinking? So I am drinking my coffee, my Profi. I call it my Profi. Look at my elephant cup. I just love him. Jeez, Louise. But it cooled down. That's why I didn't start with it, because it came piping hot out. So now I don't even see smoke. It's good to drink. So what are you guys drinking? I have just regular coffee. My coffee is Tim Hortons. If you were with me on Monday, I brew up that Tim Horton. I have a little coffee maker. I put it in there, and then I added this baby to my coffee. How about that? Jeez, Louise. Cheers to us. Okay, so let me say hello to a couple of people. Okay, so a lot of it depends on insurance type, which injection is being requested, and what the doctor sends and to support the reason why. Why the heck did they deny him if he's within the above 27 BMI and has sleep apnea? I don't know. So it's probably, obviously his insurance. But one of the things too is my doctor, she's just learning these GLP-1s. Like, she is not well versed on the GLP-1. So she's learning like, and I tell you, when I go to the doctor, just giving her the information and things I have, I feel like she was learning from me, just like that nutritionist, not nutritionist, dietitian I just went to. I felt like she learned some things from me as far as high protein type of things that I introduced her with, showed her my DEXA scan. And just all that was just interesting to them. And so I just think like some of these doctors are learning. So I don't think my doctor, because I switched my dad to my doctor, his doctor is, she really doesn't know a thing. She didn't even know what Zepbound was, my dad's doctor, what Zepbound was. She didn't even know what it, that it helped with sleep apnea. She thought it was just weight loss only. So that's how far back she is. She didn't know it was approved for sleep apnea. I had to tell her that. When I had to tell her that, guess what? We switched him over to my doctor, and she's on her way out. She's retiring. So at this age, she's probably like, honey, I'm not trying to learn anything new in this practice. I'm out of here soon. And because I tried to get an appointment with her. My dad had just met with her, and then I called and talked to her, assistant, or the lady who, does the calling and, scheduling and follow-ups with the appointment. And they didn't know anything about Zepbound being approved for sleep apnea. When I tried to schedule an appointment, because I said, well, I'll go in and sit with her because he loves this doctor. But she was like, well, you can't get an appointment until it was like, wait, like now. And I said, what? And she says, well, she's going part-time. And so eventually she's going to retire. So we just switched him over to my doctor. So my doctor is better in that she listens to you, she'll tell you if she disagrees with something, but she still honors your request. And I love that. She's very into advocating for yourself. She was very dedicated to bringing my A1C down. But however, she really never talked about a lot of what to eat, which I thought was interesting, and she always says to me, and I always get this, it's like, you're smart, you know what to do. Well, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not so smart. I guess she thinks, honey, you're a teacher. You're 53 and fabulous. You know what to eat at this point. And actually, I don't. So, yeah, I never really got that guidance on food and what to eat. So when I did start to ask her, we had this conversation about it in more depth. That's when guess where she sent me? To the dietitian. She didn't try to school me on what to eat and how to eat it. She just told me to make sure I'm eating that protein. And, she gave me a lot of kudos for trying to live a healthy lifestyle as just opposed to like only relying on the medication. And so, because our last discussion was about whether I should be on 12.5 or 15. So that's another conversation for another day. But, it's unfortunate. Like, you got to jump through hoops. So let me see. Did people answer my question? Okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah, Jamie, thank you so much. I agree. It could really help them in this other health issues. Yes. I hope they end up approving it after you finish jumping through the hoops. For sure. So yeah, and I'm so glad I'm retiring because I'm going to have time to deal with it. Right now, with the different phone calls you got to make and the back and forth and being on hold, all of that's hard when you're a teacher. And we have a lunch break and the kids go to recess, but not all kids go to recess. You might have a kid for health reasons who can't go out. Well, guess what? They sit with you in your class. You might have kids who, missed a couple of days, and that's when you're making up work with them or explaining the homework or classwork or whatever, or going over something. And then your lunch hour goes by so fast. It's only a half hour. And then you might get a phone call. So you might get a phone call that it was a kid that's going home sick. Like, all that interrupts your time. So can you imagine? You can't be on the phone. It's difficult to be on the phone. And the days I am able to take a call, I appreciate it, but it's like only got so much time. And by the time, I could call somebody like, let's say 11:30. By the time I get to somebody and can talk to somebody, it's 11:45. By the time we go through the whole spiel, the kids are coming back, and you can't live it. These are, older kids. They're 8 and 9, so you can't leave them unsupervised. So, there's that, and now that you're, I'm sure every job has that where it's not downtime. But how many jobs are you get, 25 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds looking at you like, what are we doing now? So this summer I'll have time to be on that phone and just really get into it, you know. I had a situation last year where you lost your Zepbound coverage due to your insurance. I went to the compound tirzepatide for 4 months, so I got my Zep coverage back due to sleep apnea. Got my coverage back in December. Well, Becky, I'm going to give you some confetti for that. Good for you. I know that was a good feeling, and I love how you made it work until you got back on track with what you were taking. Very good. I love that for you. Okay, so 30, 31. Okay, all right. Oh, somebody Googled it. I'm not gonna click on your 30 is considered obese, but all insurances make their own BMI requirements and they keep raising it. Now, do they do that? I thought it was kind of set in stone. Geez, Louise. Oh, yeah. And so it's levels to the obesity, right? Okay. All right. So I see. So let's start with Nancy, because Nancy said, honey, I Googled it and this is what they said. Nancy. Okay. How are you today, Nancy? Okay, so people are, yeah, you're right. Okay, and then Nicole says 30 is the start, purple bellflower, 35 is the mid, 40 is severe. Okay, you're gonna have a cup of coffee. Cheers to us. Yay. Okay, all right. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma. Live on TV. I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think I should do? Okay, so I was at a BMI of 27 when I started. Thank God for my progressive doctor. Shout out to Dr. Tiffany. Dr. Tiffany, we got to give her some confetti. This lady is doing all kind of unconventional things. But it seems very smart and progressive is a word. Yes, yes, yes. We love that. Good job, Mel. We got to give you credit for having enough sense to go with her. Good morning, Nancy says. She said, oh, you're on a coffee break. Okay. Yes. Thank you for stopping in. Look at you looking adorable. Makes my break so much more enjoyable. Thank you for stopping in. Insurance is still hard to deal with. Doctor has to send pre-authorization every 3 months to keep the medication going. Oh, for your sleep apnea. Now, I didn't ask my doctor this. That slipped my mind. So this is the next one I'm going to ask her, but maybe I'll send her a message. But some people I know have been authorized, pre-authorized for until 2038. Like 10, 20, 10 years out. I know somebody who said they were authorized for 20 years out. Mine is just year to year. Like, what is up with that? I don't understand that. I need to talk to my doctor. Like, how can we get this extended for more time? Especially, you know what? I am going to send her a message, because now that my insurance is changing, I want to make sure that authorization, I don't have to do something different. Now, I don't know that I would, but now that I'm thinking about that, I need to cover myself. Let me write myself a note, honey. So I'm going to contact my doctor and ask her about this pre-authorization. And then I might have to see her again before my, May 29th. Okay. And then I got my insurance information, my new insurance information that starts June 1st. So I need to call, and I had checked and see if they covered Mounjaro before, and I heard they did. They said, I was told they did. But I didn't actually talk to the actual insurance company. These are the my state retirement people that told me that. If I was on Zepbound, though, it would not be covered. It's only because I'm taking Mounjaro. So that Zepbound is no joke. Oh, you're drinking ice water. Jeez, Louise. My shot had me feeling nauseous this week, so I needed to rehydrate. Well, I feel like, how some people have like a sidekick, like a cat, a dog. I got this water. Besides my daughter, she is my sidekick, but she's not allowed to be on camera in here with me. So this water is like my sidekick. Some good fresh cold water in the morning. It starts you off. That gets you going. I love that. Okay, so you're right, says Nicole. The doctors don't understand, are resistant to learning the benefits. Absolutely. You were denied. I was denied all of them with BMI over 30, with high blood pressure. It was until my A1C that they approved me because of diabetes. So much for preparing. Yes. And you know what? Let me give you a shout out, Nicole. and not for getting diabetes, because I'm sure you didn't want to do that. But you said something that I've always am just baffled by, and that is the fact that what about prevention? I just don't understand. Like, don't we want to prevent people from getting to the point where they need these medications? That would be so much cheaper. Talk about saving money. So yeah, I just don't understand it. Mayo said that's a darn shame. Yes, that is. Jeez Louise. Espresso. Okay, cheers. Cheers to the coffee. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, dun, 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 dun. This, I just love this mug. I got this from, let me see. Do you guys have a Pier 1? What's it called? Pier 1 imports. I just call it Pier 1, but that's where this came from. So cute. Love it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, girl, insurance is ridiculous. They're like, we don't want to pay for this drug, so we require 30 or 40 BMI. Wow, I didn't know you could do that. I guess you can, right? You're making up your own rules. Jeez Louise. I pay for the privilege of having her, but my health is worth the money, the coin. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Very good. Teddy D, how are you? Good morning, Diva and everyone. Teddy D, I got to go check out your interview with Paul. I haven't been able to watch that yet, but I'm sure you were over there representing fabulously. All right, Teddy. You said I was authorized for 4 years. Okay, so going year to year. Jeez Louise, that motivates me. Margie, to get it done. Gee, Louise, congratulations to you. I don't know if that was you or your doctor, but if this, I'm giving this to you and your doctor. Yay! I think I might be authorized for 2 years, but guess what? I'm trying to get to that 2030, like some of the other folks. And not for nothing, I'm going to be letting my doctor know. Well, my girl Marjorie is authorized for 4 years. What's up with that? Jeez Louise. Shay, how are you? Name Twin, how are you? Ooh, Kim. Kim is drinking a shot of pistachio espresso and Premier Protein. Cheers to you. Jeez Louise. I love it. I love it. Oh, you're authorized for 1 year. Well, Nicole, we got to step our game up. We got to get those other years in there. It should be easier for me, I'm thinking, because I'm taking Mounjaro, right? I think it's going to be a little bit easier for me, but who knows? Why don't I have it now? So maybe not. 20 years, the insurance company can go back on that tomorrow, no matter what the PA says. Oh, man, I just busted my bubble, Mel. Jeez Louise. And I guess they probably could, huh? They will extend out, but every January with all the insurance shenanigans, you'll still have to go with a new pre-auth. Really? Well, geez, Louise, and that's probably what she's going to tell me. I can see my doctor coming back with that, so I'm glad you prepared me for it. I'm still going to ask her. Okay, so let me ask you. Oh, this chat is going down, down, down. Okay, all right. So I'm almost to the end of it. I've joined the local nutritionist group at the local church, Becky. You've learned a lot. GLP-1 medications are not discussed. I was ready to give up the pros and cons, and she said, "Eat right, no meds." And people will say that, and I kind of believe in that, but I guess I just that if you have the disease of obesity, you can't just eat right. That's the problem. Because I know I have a girl, a lady I like to listen to, and she says, "Eat God's food only." And so I'm going to tell you, I just heard her speaking not too long ago, and I got motivated. And I said, I'm going to go into my cabinet today, right? I'm going to record this video. So if you see the same pink cute sweater, you'll know it was today. You guys, be like, oh, Dee Dee got off our live and she went and recorded this video. But I am inspired to throw out. I said, I'm going to go down in my cabinet and I'm going to throw out everything that's not God's food. That means live, grown from the ground. You got to cook it, right? Not in a box. Well, I get down there and I don't really have anything. The only thing I do have that I'm going to throw out, I don't know if it's expired or what. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to give it to my school pantry at school. That's what I'm going to do. Not throw it out because, there's that, right? Because we know some people really need the canned goods of it all. It doesn't matter. But I said, I'm going to try to take that whole foods eating approach. Remember, I saw that nutritionist, and she was not, well, I'm going to save this for a video. So that's interesting. Who said this, Becky? So at the church, so is it a nutritionist that's running the group, or is just somebody who is a dietitian and a nutritionist, are different, right? The dietitian is the one that has all that education. They have to, pass boards and all that. Now, a nutritionist can, but you can call yourself a nutritionist and not do all the things, right? So yeah, I just wonder if, I wonder if that's the reason why, because the church, have you heard of the Daniel's diet? They want you to eat all the whole foods. So I am going to go though and scour through my cabinets today. And unless it's my daughter's box mac and cheese, it's going. And I'm going to keep my quinoa. But anything else, I just bought a bunch of crackers. Those are from my daughter, though, that she can eat. But anything that was for me, I am going to give it to the pantry. I'm going to try to really eat the whole foods. I'm not even going to eat rice. I'm going to eat, because rice, it's not like eating a potato that you can pull out of the ground, honey. So I'm going to try to focus on eating more of those whole foods. So who got me off on that tangent? Becky. Becky says your daughter is a cutie. Enjoy her. Yes, and she has so much personality. I just love that for her. Nia, how are you? It's so good to see you. Okay, so Kim says her pre-authorization is every 6 months. Okay, very good. So let me ask you, so let me ask you guys really quick, this quick thing. So this is off topic, right? So this is off topic. So if anybody's interested in plumber stuff, stay on. Do not log off, because we're going back. And by the way, the 30 BMI was correct. I don't remember who said that, but that was correct. The 30 BMI. And Bellflower told us it levels to that obesity. So 30 and over is considered obese. So good. Guess what? As cute as I might look, I'm still obese. And I'm okay with it, because my goal is to bring it down. So this is why I want to be in this category. I want to be in the 18 to 24%. I got to get to that to be considered normal. Now, we know the BMI is so, let's call it generic, right? It's just so out there, because you could look like you are in great shape and not be. You could have some other things going on or not, right? You could have a 24% BMI, right? And you could have high blood pressure. You could have kidney issues. You could be getting a UTI every other day. We don't know. And then somebody else who, let's say they could be at like a 28, and they cannot have any of those other comorbidities going on. So who is in fact the healthiest? So it varies. And there was some smart person is realizing that, even though they haven't done anything really about it yet, but I think it is coming down the pipe. But if you have a good doctor, I would venture to say they take that all into consideration. So this is the basic breakdown of it. If you're at an 18 to 24%, it's considered normal. You're not overweight. You're right where you need to be. Is anybody in this chat in that category? Anybody out there in YouTube land watching? Are you in the normal range? Let me know in the comments of this video. You can make a comment. Now, if you're overweight, 25 to 29%, you're in the category of being overweight. So just when you thought you were looking cute and fly and you were like your BMI was under 30, well, guess what? You're still considered overweight. Now, you still might be cute and fly, but you're overweight. And then if you are 30 plus, you're just obese. Now, if you're 40 plus, I think that's like morbidly obese. And not for nothing, I'm up there. My body fat percentage rate is way up there. So dang, that just brought me down a notch. Cheers. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. Now, the DEXA scan people gave me a C with this fat and all. Like the belly fat is doing its thing. So with that fat and all, I got a C for my DEXA scan. So my job is next time I go is to get a B And then the next time eventually I'm not, I'm going to stop getting a DEXA scan. Guess when I get to that A. And I don't know how long that's going to take. It might be 2030. And I'm on here saying, right, DEXA scan. Are you guys going to be still with me in 2030? You got to stick around and find out if I'm going to make that A DEXA scan. So that's my goal. So just to do a little bit better than I have done before. I don't know how long that's going to take, but geez, Louise, that is the goal of mine. So anyway, I said all that. I wanted to, didn't want to leave you hanging on that. So my next question for you guys is, okay, so other than being obese, do you think people should be taking a GLP-1 if they are not obese or overweight? Yes or no, and tell us why. All right, before you get into that, though, let me ask this first. So I got a plumber coming today. Now, my dad was supposed to come here because, when you're a lady at home by yourself, they can tend to price gouge. I've experienced it. That's a story I should have wrote a book when I was renovating my house, all the stuff I had to go through. And guess what? I had to boss up. And it was just unbelievable. And I was in the process of I would jot things down and write things down. And then once it was over, I just wanted the piece of it being over. And I never explored writing a book, but I have notes and experiences, and it is a real thing. And I used to have, they would say one thing to me, and when my dad would come, it would be another story. And once I saw that, I just was like, I'm about to, let these guys know you're not going to run over me. This is my money. I'm going to tell you what to do with it. You're not going to tell me. So anyway, when the woman is doing things, especially if it comes to like anything around the house, mechanical, they price gouge. So I got this company coming today to look at it. It's just my toilet handles. And my dad he could put in a whole hardwood floor, right? But he's older. He doesn't have the wherewithal, and he's not as neat. Like, I like things neat and organized. Like, he'll fix the toilet, but I'll have to clean up for 2 days. So it's like sometimes you got to pay for convenience. But I'm wondering, when I flush my toilet, the toilet you have to hold it down. My daughter did something to it. She's not fessing up, but I just know she did. So you got to hold it down. It runs. I just wanted that to be over. My dad was like, "Oh, I know how to fix it." He called himself fixing it. He fixed one problem that caused another, right? So I mean, it still works. It's not an emergency that they come out. So then it's something going on in my shower where when I turn on the shower head, my daughter did this too. And I'm glad she's not in here because I don't have to whisper. She did this too. And so when I turn on my shower head, the water comes out, but it also comes out of the bath part. So you can't take a shower without that water running at the bottom part, and you can't turn off the shower. So if you just want to take a bath, guess what? Everything's getting wet. Because you cannot turn off the shower head. So I was going to have them look at that too. So my question is, my dad got hurt at work yesterday, and something in his eye was messed up. He had to go to the ER, which was fine. Somebody from work took him, and they gave him something to put in his eye. Well, he normally comes over when the plumbing folks, when anybody comes here. So now he was going to cancel because they gave him something to put in his eye. He said his eye is fine. Well, he ended up calling his job, and I guess because they didn't want him to, they want to make sure he's okay to come back to work because he works outside and does different things. He's kind of like a maintenance person around, the apartments and blah, blah, blah. And so they wanted to make sure he's okay. So they told him he was trying to cancel the appointment. We were going to cancel it, that he would come over here when the plumbers are here. But around the time they're supposed to come, it's the time my dad has his eye appointment. So my question to you guys, and I'm still debating because I got maybe like 15 minutes because I want to call and cancel if I'm going to cancel. Should I just let them come and see what they say without my dad being here, or should I wait till my dad comes and just reschedule it? Because I have a fear that they're going to try to price gouge me. What would you guys do? Would you wait for my dad and reschedule, or would you just go ahead with it? Now, remember, none of these things are like an emergency. It's just I'm on break and thought I may as well do it while I'm on break. What do you guys think? All right, we got somebody that's saying reschedule. Anybody else? What do you think I should do? You said DIY toilet handles, not the shower. Okay. Yeah, see the shower, my dad can't do that either. You said wait for my dad too. Yeah, because I have a feeling. And then when I was looking it up, because not for nothing, I could do it. I'm pretty handy. I don't know if you guys knew that about me, but I'm pretty handy. And I was gonna say, the toilet, was looking it up. How much does it cost? $250. And I said, and my dad was like, you don't need that. That noise is not bothering you. It turns off. It is annoying though. It is like, I want to just flush and go. I don't want to flush and hold down the handle. I don't want to hear the toilet running. I don't want to have to shake that handle. So, okay. So you guys are saying, yeah. Now, if for them to give me an estimate though, it's going to cost $89. And then if I have them come back out after that, they're probably going to charge me another $89 because they're going to say, it's other companies, but they have very good reviews. So, so that's why I was calling. That's why I was wondering. Okay. All right. So yeah. So let me I'm gonna have to reschedule because I'm thinking too, if I'm asking about it, I should probably be doing it. Okay, so my question for you guys, I'm gonna call and cancel this reschedule. My question for you guys is, should you be if you are not obese or overweight, should you be taking a GLP-1? Let's say you just wanted to lose 10, 15 pounds. Let's say you wanted to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds. Do you guys think you should be taking a GLP-1 to do that? That's the question. What do you think? The downside. This is so funny. Downsize. I gotta call email you about something that I just found out yesterday. But you said you got this, you can fix the toilet and you can negotiate the price. Okay. Okay. Well, I just think a guy needs to be there. I'm telling you, they will, when it's just a female, they're not going for that. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you guys think they're not going to do a free estimate though? Yeah, I guess I could find somebody that's doing a free estimate. I kind of went with them because they were highly recommended okay. You said you guys answered it. Wait for my dad to reschedule. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, do you think somebody who has 5, 10, 15 pounds to lose, do you think they should be taking a GLP-1? Because not for nothing, that's kind of a big debate in the greater community. I think people kind of understand when you're obese, right? When we're obese, when we're overweight, people kind of understand you're taking the GLP-1. But what if you're not obese or overweight? What if you're in that normal category? Do you think normal should be allowed to take it? Because I'm going to tell you guys, normal to you might be a little different than normal to, so that's Lorraine with the girl power. I love that. So normal to you might be different than normal for somebody else, because I'm telling you, my mom was a small lady. And when she would gain the size 2'4", gaining 5 pounds, that could be she couldn't button her pants up, right? Because when you're smaller, it just happens like that. No, that's Chris still saying, oh, we love it, Chris. Thank you, girl power. But you're living over there with those fabulous ladies, so he knows about the girl power. So what do you guys think? And Chris, what do you think? Not for nothing. Do you think that women, not women, geez Louise, I got women on my mind. Do you think that anybody should be able to use a GLP-1 if they had a quick 5, 10, 15 pounds? So I'm going to this fabulous wedding. My normal range is, I'm not overweight. I'm not, I'm not, what if I'm just tired? Because I was going to say, a lot of times we think when people want to drop 5, 10, 15 pounds, it's because they want to look cute for an event. But not for nothing. What if I'm just tired? I can't wear any of my clothes. And I see these GLP-1s came out here. Do you think they should be allowed to take the GLP-1? Let me write that comment on the screen. I don't like writing comments off the cuff because I don't like misspelling something. So what do you guys think? And while you're typing that in, I am going to cancel this appointment. They just sent me a reminder too. I'm going to reschedule. I don't want to cancel it. I want to reschedule this baby. Okay. I reschedule. And I feel like it has like some kind of, not a local number, some kind of like a hotline kind of number. So I'm going to see how fast they give me a confirmation that I reschedule. Okay. All right. Yeah. Cause I called some kind of hot, like not the direct number to where they are, but like they have like I guess a bigger thing. But anyway, yeah, I did mute it. Okay. All right. So, okay. What are you guys saying? So, you said, wait, you didn't say anything about a wedding. Well, I'm just saying, if people say they have like 5, 10, 15 pounds to drop, a lot of times we don't associate that with comorbidities, right? So let's say they don't have comorbidities. Let's just say somebody wants to get that extra weight off, like for them. Do you think they should be allowed to take the GLP-1? So the downside says GLP-1s are bigger than weight loss. It's not up to me to judge your medical care. We see new comorbidities every day that help people with sleep apnea, cardiovascular, etc. Absolutely. I agree with that. I do believe there will come a time when options expand and the prices come down that GLP-1s are used proactively to prevent obesity, which will be a game changer. And I'm going to give you some confetti for that. Because I'm telling you, there's that word again, prevention. Yes. You know, Chris, it's the prevention of it all. I think when we get smart and start thinking about preventing, these diseases, you won't have really, it's really designed. I really believe a lot of this stuff is designed to keep us sick and unhealthy. I really do. And, I mean, this is all going to be a game changer when this all takes place and goes down, where the medications are becoming cheaper. They're going to be advertising to us. Now, I feel like we're advertising ourselves to them. They're going to be advertising to us to take it once this competition, really revs up. We know competition keeps the prices down. Now, not for nothing. Everybody knows I invest in, I'm a stock investor. I do have stock in Eli Lilly, just a few of them. And it's made me some money. And so I want them to do well. I'm just bringing up Lilly because that's the one I have. Now I am looking at Novo. They dropped down. They've been taking some hits, but they'll be back too. They were the ones that kicked off this whole GLP-1 revolution, right? And then just like they probably were sitting pretty thinking they were the only ones out here. Then here we come with Eli Lilly with something even better. So unless Eli Lilly, this is why it's hard to be on top, right? Because once you're on top, you got to stay that way. So now Eli Lilly is at the top of that throne. Will somebody dethrone them? We don't know. Now, I will say Eli Lilly is doing a lot of things behind the scenes. They're really one of those companies that are thinking in the future. They have so many things down that pipeline going on. It's going to be hard to dethrone them, but it could be done, right? Somebody comes out and says, over our 72-week period, our trial, we've had people who've lost 30% of their body fat. Now, we know with Zepbound and Mounjaro, we've had people who've lost 30, 40, I don't know if there's anybody who's gone on record and said they've lost 50% of their body weight, but I'm sure they're out there. We just don't know who they are. If you know who they are, they're out there, drop them in the chat because let's give them a shout out. That's difficult to do. But, so people, even though the studies show in that 20% range, it's people who have lost 30, 40% of their body fat since being on this GLP-1, the percentage. So I think all that's great, but there's going to be somebody that comes out with that 30% or that 29% or whatever the percentage is. And everybody's going to, the crowd is over here at Lilly, then the crowd is going to run over to where they are. And let's just, I'm just saying if they have the same, not just weight loss, but safety and all of that. Let's just not assume, because I don't like that word. But let's just say all things being equal and the weight loss was even better, then Eli Lilly has something to worry about. But right now they're sitting pretty on the top of the hill. All right, so, okay, I scrolled down. I gave Chris that confetti, the downsize, and scrolled down way too much. Okay. All right. Okay, what are you guys saying? YouTube University, Didi. And thank thank you for helping me. You know, I knew what I needed to do, and then I just said, I'm just gonna wait it out. Also, something's going on with my dad too, not for nothing. I thought about this too. I'm gonna be stuck here with these folks, and you know, I might have to run up out of here and go to his appointment. So I thought about that too. But thank you. You guys helped push it over the edge, what I know I needed to do. Okay. So I love this. I gotta put this up again. Girl power. Don't we just love that? Okay, so what are you guys saying? Just to lose about 15 pounds, they should pay out of pocket. She said they should pay out of pocket. So insurance should not cover it. They should pay out of pocket. Okay, even for Zepbound, which is just for weight loss, though. How about that? What about that, Shay? If you have other health issues that GLP-1s would help, then I think the meds should be approved no matter the BMI. Okay, very good. Very good. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully they won't charge for the late reschedule. No, they didn't. They didn't. They were saying I could pick whatever date I wanted. But with the dates they picked, that's why I know they weren't in my area. That's how I knew it was like a not my specific area, because the times and stuff he was giving me, it was kind of off. And I'm like, no, I'm in this part of Ohio, like, you know. So anyway, okay. Yes, they should be able to utilize the meds, but they should pay out of pocket even if they don't have any other health issues. You said obese or not. Okay, all right. So Nancy, it feels like eventually these will be available at the pharmacy, sort of like a Claritin D, where you have to show your driver's license is lost so they can limit how much. Yes, I think that too. I think so too. Yes, use the medication. Sometimes it's hard to lose that 10 pounds and do what makes you happy. Yes, because I also think about the person who has lost you know, all the weight they needed to lose, except I know a lot of people are down to these last 10 pounds they can't get off. So so do we think like once they get to those last 10 pounds that the insurance company kick them off? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I think you know, I'm looking at it from, if the person has the last 10 pounds to lose, then what's okay? Isn't that okay for a person who has 5, 10, 15 pounds to lose? You know, I don't know. I just think as long as people who actually, you know, and this is only a conversation because there was the scarcity issue, right? Before, we would have never probably been saying like, oh, other people can't get it. But, you know, we know the people who have, you know, diabetes and all these comorbidities and, you know, sleep apnea, which, you know, it can really affect your quality of life and cut off, you know, your longevity. So all those things, like, let's assume that, stop saying assume. I don't like that word. Let's just say everybody could get the meds. Scarcity is not an issue. But, you know, so we're saying, and I guess the question is, if scarcity is not an issue, if all things are equal and you just want to take this medication to knock off those hard 5, 10, 15, and dare I say even 20 pounds, should people have access? Because a lot of people are saying no. Okay. Let's see. Chris is saying buy Novo. Yes. And Novo is low. And let's see, Chris, what is Novo now? Because I had Novo. I trade options. You know what options trading is? I trade options, and I made some money off of Novo years ago. And then I didn't buy the stock. And so now I was looking at it. It had gotten down in the 30s to where I know somebody who bought it for $35 a share. And so in my mind, I'm like, I got to beat that price. And it was 38 not too long ago. I could have gotten it for the 38. So how much is it as of today? Now, you guys might be saying, we don't care about this, but guess what? You should. You got to watch out for those stocks. You got to watch out for what's going on with this medication, because a lot of what they do is also impacted by their investors. So if you own a stock, you are now an investor. You own a tiny piece, but be it tiny. It's not recognizing me because my glasses. Okay. All right. So let's see. How much is Novo today? The stock market has been up here in these last couple of days for the most part. Let's see. Oh, it's at 38. See, I'm trying to get it to 35. I'm trying to get it, Chris, at 35 or lower. But 38, and it's in green. So I would never buy in green. So on Friday, what's today? Today is Friday, and it's up today. So that's interesting, because usually a Friday is the sell day. People sell their stocks, get a profit, buy back in. and rinse and repeat is what I call it. So no, I can't buy it today because it's up $1.22. So had I got this earlier in the week or last week, I could have got it around that price. The 52-week low, so that's the year, is $35.12 for Novo. So if you're interested in buying some stock, I'm telling you, look at this Novo. I think actually long term, of course, the analysts are saying it's a 61% hold. So if you have it, don't sell it right now unless you want to take a profit out. But if you didn't buy it at $38, you don't have a profit. You're in the red because it's at $38 now. So if your average is not 38 or less, you're in the red. So you shouldn't sell it now anyway because you won't get any money. So that baby's going to double back. At its high of all time, it was in the 130. So it has the potential to go that high again. So you could potentially triple your money, if not more than that. So if I were you, I would be looking at that as a potential investment. Of course, Lily's up again. I bought Lily in the 600s, and now it's, it had gotten up to almost $1,200 a stock. So I doubled my money, right? So I think that that's another smart buy. You don't have to buy the whole share. Remember, you could buy a partial share. So I think that that's all cool. All of that is cool if you could get in on the stocks of it all. Why not let them help pay for your medication? Geez, Louise, just think if you bought a share and it went up and you could make $500. If you're paying out of pocket, that's that's your medication for the month. If you're paying $25, a lot of people with insurance I hear pay $25. How many boxes of months is that? Geez, Louise, that's a good probably 5 to 6 months. So I just say use your money wisely, and get some of that stock if you can. All right, what are you guys saying? So Nancy is saying, let me go to Angie. Angie is saying if you have no additional comorbidities, that's up to them and their doctor. Okay, yes. I agree. My friend had a 30-pound gain, bothered her as much as my 200 pounds. Yeah, a smaller lady it is. So yes, it should be up to the individual. Can stop further gains. Complicated issue, mentally and physically compassion. Yeah, and I think sometimes when we're much bigger, it's hard to find compassion with what the smaller people are going through, right? Because, I know some people are on here now like, honey, 30 pounds, I'm over 300 pounds. But it's all relative to your experience. And I think that that's where that empathy, that compassion, that your situation is not my situation has to come in. So 30 pounds for me is like, might be a drop in the bucket. It's like 30 more pounds. I got to lose 30 more after that. Whereas 30 pounds for somebody else could be really affecting their quality of life. You got to think about it like that. And not for nothing, 30 extra pounds can affect anybody's quality of life. It's just that once you keep piling those pounds on, it becomes your new normal. And that's what we've all done, that, the obese people are used to that new normal being such a great number. But what if we could have stopped it at 30 pounds? I think about that. Instead of getting over 300 pounds, what about when I got over 30 pounds? I could have taken something to stop it. So I'm thinking of it like that, and we could just, don't we have like younger sisters? We had children, we have nieces, nephews, and all kind of family members that are younger now that will have the opportunity in their 20s to stop it before it happens. Now, I don't know what the age is that I think you should be using this medication, because I haven't researched it enough. But I just think that you have to be mentally mature a little bit to be taking this medication, because even this medication you cannot be successful on if you're not doing all the things. And is a 13-year-old ready for that? I don't know. And then I say to myself, as a parent, I'm buying what's in the house, right, as far as food. But at 13, these kids are clever. They can order DoorDash to come to their school. Or to go to a friend's house around the corner. And DoorDash or Uber Eats and all those things, not for nothing, they're just not delivering food. They're delivering snacks. They stop at the convenience stores too. So I would say if you're going to approach this with a teenager, somebody that's under 16, you really have to have like a conversation with them. Maybe a therapist is involved, because when kids are being teased, and I always say this because I'm a teacher and I see it on the playgrounds. When kids are being teased and bullied about their weight and how they look, it is something that lives with you forever. And I'm sure anybody who was called a name in school remembers what that name still is. Why do we remember? Because it's traumatic. And you might think it's funny and cute. And even the kids that were teased about being skinny, called bean pose and all of those things, that sticks with you forever. So I think that we got to start thinking about that when we think about these meds. We really do. So yeah, so there's that. Let's see. Okay. I would say no. Only if taking the GLP-1s, the risk of putting them in the underweight or unhealthy BMI range, or triggering low A1C and blood sugars, all things considered. Now, that's another thing. I always wonder, how can you even be successfully taking this medication and you don't have diabetes and your blood sugar doesn't drop too low? Because it regulates it if it's high. But if, some of these people, I don't hear them now. I do hear people saying they have headaches and stuff like that. Is that because that blood sugar is dropping down so low? I wondered that. I wonder, how is it that you're, taking the medication and your blood sugar, and some people are on 15, and their blood sugar, they don't have diabetes, but the blood sugar has not dropped too low. So I would say that those people must be eating, probably the way they should. Maybe they're not, eating things that's going to give it a high spike and a low drop. But I don't want to be one of those people that are hypoglycemic, right? I don't want to be monitoring my blood sugar and making sure I'm not going to faint. Like, I don't want to do that. So right now, my A1C is normal. I don't have an Ozempic face going on. I still got a lot of fat in that belly to lose. But I feel good. I look good. I feel like I look good anyway. And I could do better though, right? Because I want longevity. So I want to be here for a long time. And so with that said, I do think that you kind of have to be careful, because I do think, have you seen people, and be honest out there, because this is an honest conversation. It's just us. So have you seen people that have lost weight, and they might say, okay, I want to lose weight I want to get to like 100 and let's say 150, right? I want to get to 150. They get to that 150 and then they keep going. And then the next thing you know, they're at 140. Then they're at 130. Then they're looking real thin, like they need to lose. Now, I personally have experienced this with a friend. Now, she said she wasn't taking the GLP-1 until she got down to her last 20 pounds. She lost about 120 pounds. She went from a size 22 to a size 2. Now, she just told me recently she's at my size, which is an extra large. So she's gained all that, a lot of that weight back. But she had gotten to that point, and I said something to her even before she got to the size 2, because I thought she looked frail and weak. So that is a thing. I think you get to the point where you don't really see yourself like being overweight, right? It's, I was a size, 18, 20, 22 at some point. And I don't really see myself at like a 14, 16 or an XL. I look at that stuff and think, I can't fit that. And I put it on like, this is an extra large and I have room in this. And you put it on and you're like, oh my gosh, I can fit it. So I have sympathy and compassion and empathy and all those things for people who get down and think like, I still look big, because I think that's what it's about. I think I still look big, even though you're in a size 2. You see yourself in the mirror as like a size 14. And I think that we have a lot of that going on. I saw this video the other day. It was this guy, it was a random guy, and I don't know why. I think it came up on my algorithm because the guy was critiquing this lady. He wasn't against GLP-1s. He didn't look like he had ever had a weight issue. I think he just looked like a normal guy. And he said that he was watching this TikTok or something. He saw this lady and he put her picture on there, and he said, if you know who this lady is, you're following her on TikTok, please do not harass her. Do not go over there. And I thought that was good that he said that. But I also feel like you probably shouldn't have put her video up. You know what I'm saying? Like her picture up. But I guess you needed to put the picture up so people can see, what you were talking about, where her face, and I tell you, her face was caved in. And she, you could see her clavicles and all of that. And she just did look like she had gained, I mean, lost a lot of, maybe she went a little bit further than she should. And in her mind, what she was saying was, this GLP-1, I think she was on Ozempic. This GLP-1 was the best thing since sliced bread for her. This is, the first time she's been able to lose. She loves the way she looks. Totally not seeing what, obviously the guy saw to make the video and what I saw when I looked at her. And for somebody like that, I just kind of want to put my arms around and say, where's her family? Where's her friends? Where's somebody that's going to tell you that, hey, you need to slow up? And I'm going to say, I know people are so quick to say, people are haters. People are haters. Everybody's not a hater. Some people really just care about you. And I think you got to know the difference between the two. And I don't ever want to be a person who you can't tell me, something and I trust and love you and support you. I think we got to kind of be able to listen to folks. So why I say never now. Now, if you catch me doing that, stop me. But I don't want to be putting up videos critiquing what other folks are doing and looking like, because I think that is almost, it reminds me of the bullies becoming a bully. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so cocky and big now on this medication that I couldn't maintain this probably without, that I got to tell you how to eat and when to eat. I just think like we got to watch that. And I'm never going to, I'm saying never, I never say never, but I'm never going to be on here doing that and then have somebody tell me, Diva, you said you wouldn't do that, Shay. That's not the move for you. I'm going to go back and retract that. And I don't want to be one of those people doing that, just because I just think we got to give people grace. And grace is not the same thing as an excuse. Grace is saying, hey, I got to forgive myself, because not for nothing, people have been beating us up for years about being obese and being overweight and what we were eating and how we were eating. And I think the last thing we need on this GLP-1 is to do that to each other. So that's just my little PSA. If you see somebody on there and you want to critique what they're doing and how they're doing it, flash back to when people were critiquing you and what you were eating and how you were eating. Now, this guy who's never been obese, probably he doesn't get it, but we get it, right? Because we know how that feels for people to be critiquing what we're eating and how we're looking. And also, I say, it's people on YouTube telling their story, like myself. I know this one content creator was on there crying not too long ago because she gained 10 pounds and she felt, so bad about it. And she was saying, don't beat me up in the comments about gaining weight. It's another one on here talking about gaining weight. Like, give those people some grace. It's like you hate to see it. The one thing that I want people to show more of when they're not losing, how that looks, right? Because everybody can relate to that, because at some point we all weren't losing. And not for nothing, you could be in maintenance and you could start picking up weight, right? If you're eating more calories and you're not tracking all the things now, you're just living your best maintenance life, you potentially can gain weight. So I just think that we kind of just have to be kind to some people. If you're watching somebody's story, it's not going to be a perfect story. They're not going to lose every week. They are going to gain weight. It's times where their belly is going to look big and stuffed, even though it probably was flat last week. And maybe they didn't say I was eating like I was eating at Easter, but we can see, right? Because their belly looks poked out. But I just think you got to give people grace, and you got to let people forgive themselves and move on, because you're watching people's lives in real time. This is not like a movie where you get to go on and edit and it's just that 2 hour. Like, a lot of us are living our lives out for months and years. So yeah, with that said, on your worst day, do you want a camera following you around? Probably not. When your relationships are going bad, do you not? When you're cussing out your husband or wife or your spouse, your partner, do you want that on camera? You don't. So I just think that we got to be sensitive to that. And that's why I say, I tend to go towards the positive people doing positive things, because I just think that in the end, that's who wins. I mean, it seems like the negativity wins out. It's entertaining as all get out, but ultimately, do you want that for yourself? Probably not. Probably not. So anyway, I got off on a tangent. Was that the downsize that got me off on that tangent? Okay. So Mel says Novo bought it when it dropped low. Get low, Get low, get low, get low. I want Novo to go even lower. Once I retire, Chris, I don't know if the downsize is still on here, but did I tell you I am retiring? My retirement date is May 29th. I'm going to be on that stock market like right on rice, and I'm going to come on live sometimes. And I don't know what YouTube is going to do. I might start my other channel, and I'm not going to tell these people on here because I don't want the GLP-1 on my stock channel. And I say that because I think it's a whole different group with a different mindset. Like I don't want you over there because you're like, oh, I love Dee Dee. She's on there talking about her weight. I'm not the same Dee Dee when it comes to my money, honey. So I'm going to be on there, and I'm not for nothing. I don't have income. I'm not going to have the same income. I'm taking an income pay cut, right? When I retire, I'm not going to be, making the same money I made now. So, I'm going to be on those stocks. I'm going to be on there. I'm going to be talking a lot more about it. And I think but I am going to come on here if it relates to the GLP-1, like Lilly, Novo, some of these other companies, I'll be talking, I might say, hey, and I don't want to you can't really give a stock tip. So I'm not a stock financial advisor. You can't be giving out stock tips. I have no insider information. I absolutely know nothing, but other than, my own research and watching the stocks. But again, I always say this, if people had bought a part of Lilly when I said that months and months and months ago, you would have doubled your money already. You would have. And people could have had like their free box on Lilly. People are saying, what is Eli Lilly giving us? Well, the gift is the stock market. Go invest in those stocks. Find you a stock. Find an ETF that comes bundled together already. Find one with Lilly in it. And just enjoy your profit. Sit back and chill out and relax. Soak it all in. So Mel bought at a low price. Okay. All right. Very good, Mel. And then so did the downsize. Very good. We love that. Shay says, even though it is weight loss med, maybe it should be a weight requirement to get the meds through insurance for anyone that is lower than the requirement, and then they pay out of pocket. So you don't think so? Why don't you think though insurance should cover it for people who just want to lose weight? Because it's prevention, right? Because they pay for preventative doctor visits, right? When I go to the doctor for my yearly exam, I'm going and I'm feeling fine. Nothing's wrong. It's a preventative tool. So that's what I'm saying. Why can't it be a preventative tool? Is what I guess I'm asking. Nicole, how are you, Nicole Ray? Darium, how are you? He says, good morning, Dee Dee and the Friday Diva discussion board. Peeking in, but work is making me earn my pay today. It's a Friday. It's Friday, your payday for you. I know sometimes Fridays can be busy. All right, Nancy, thank you for stopping in. The beautiful Nancy. She says, I work for an accountant and it's tax season, crazy busy. I hope you all have a perfectly wonderful weekend. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Do you teach about stocks? I'm interested, but don't know how to start. I do have an actual stock club. I'm going to put this up here. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a stock club. And everybody I didn't say everybody, but the people that are in it is from the GLP-1 community. I haven't advertised it outside of that just because I haven't had the time. I'm going to be honest, to advertise outside of that. But you should join. It's a monthly, it's a monthly fee to join. We meet, we talk about the stocks, and our goal. I mean, really, you want to learn, but your goal is to, grow your money, create a portfolio. And I'm going to try to put my little I don't see my little link. Let's see. Mel, can you find my little link to our stock club and put it in there? So that we could show her. I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. But Mel, you can still do that for the chat if you have time. But if you click on this QR code, the group is called Stocks Made Simple. And you could click on that QR code with your phone, take your phone and put it up to the screen, and then you could click on that. So you can even do it after this plays if you don't want to log out. But I always have the description. Any of these codes, I have them in the description of the video. So it should be in there. I don't know if I put it in this one or not, but I'm going to go back and do that. But anyway, you could click on that link. It's up in the corner. I think Mel is going to at some point put it in there. Or Bellflower can do it too. She's in here as well. My two mods, having some good mods. I just love these ladies. They're awesome. You said you checked. Novo is at 37.40. It went up when I got on there because it was at 38 point something. Thank you. But I still think you could get it a little bit lower. One thing you'll learn about me is I try to go for the lowest price. If a stock is in green, I don't buy. I only buy when it's in red. Unless it's just extenuating circumstances, right? Sometimes you just got to go with what you can. Like, let's say you got this $100 burning in your pocket and you like, I said, today I'm buying these 2 shares. I don't care what, I'm just buying them. Then you just dollar cost average. And when it's low, then you get it. But I like to start out low and go even lower. So yeah. So you know how Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. Well, not in stocks. In stocks, you sell high. You buy low and you sell high. That's how you get your profit. Okay, so but I'm like the downsize. I am a long-term investor. So unless I'm doing a quick, 1-2, I sell my profit and reinvest it. Unless I'm doing that quick 1-2 punch, I am a long-term investor, right? My stocks, I don't have to worry and sweat it out every day when, it drops, because I'm thinking 15, 20 years out, not tomorrow. What can I do tomorrow? So, okay, so where did I leave off at? Where are you guys at? So Nicole, yeah, you should come and join us. Come and join us. Come for a month, see how you like it. Learn something. We love that. You didn't want to get up this morning, but you got to see your ortho surgeon for your follow-up. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Hey everyone who just joined the chat. Okay, all right. Songstress, look at you, looking like a true beauty with those glasses. Okay, I'm 72. I'm 53. So I was born in 72, the best year ever. Doses of Shani, how are you? How are you? Mel is saying that's why you need to regularly see your doctor. Shani said her blood pressure dropped a few times. What did you do? How did you know? What were your symptoms? My friends who are non-diabetic on these meds eat a lot of carbs and don't restrict a lot of things. Their A1C dropped, but not critically low because they still consume many things. So who knows? Okay. They eat a lot of carbs and don't restrict. Okay. Okay. And I think that's key. You can't drop too low and just, I don't know how you would make it on the keto diet and take this Zepbound for a long period of time. Now, I know our girl Jo is doing that carnivore diet. And right now she has so much to lose. Well, she's lost 100+ pounds. So eventually, is that carnivore diet going to backfire, when she gets closer and closer to where her body and her goal is? I don't know. And she could be totally different. She could be, because she has so many things going on, she may be able to tolerate it long term. That carnivore. So I know she eats. Now, carnivore, I thought they didn't eat veggies, but Jo eats veggies. So is she still a carnivore? I'm confused by that. Some people do become obsessed with the weight loss of it all. Might need help to hit up the therapist if you get to that point. Now, I think you told me, and I think I gave confetti and scrolled down too far. I think, Ange, you said, okay, here you go. You've lost 42% of your body weight. So you doubled almost the expectation of what the average person lost. So let's give you some confetti. I think that is so awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, very good. Okay, so I love that for you. That is excellent, excellent work. Okay, so let's see. I'm so glad you're in my chat because you're very informed. You've experienced it. So you could definitely help and support, me and everybody else up in here. Okay, thank you for sharing that. You said not caved in on them, twin. Oh, so Nicole says she still looks at clothes and says, "Oh heck no, that ain't gonna fit." Then you put it on, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, I can fit it." Well, hey, we can relate because I'm doing that on a daily basis. Very good. All right, so people are laughing. Mel is saying to downsize. That's awesome. Okay, so Pat said, "Hey, Pat, how are you? I haven't seen that lovely picture and I don't know when. I was shopping with a friend who was looking for jeans. She didn't find any in plus size, so I walked towards the smaller sizes. And she said, 'That's not our size.' And I wear a 10 to 12. I didn't look. Okay, now you got me interested. What are you saying?" You said I felt uncomfortable shopping in the small size while she was in the plus size, and she stopped you from looking. Now that is a nice person. You're being nice, but guess what? Don't be nice. Own that new body, and you could be her inspiration to get to those 10s and 12s. You know, I was just in this store, and it's not like a plus size store. It's a regular store, and it's called Ross. And I had never been in Ross. I just thought, I don't want anything in Ross. I didn't want to go in there. And so I went in there. My daughter got the cutest jeans in there, but it reminds me of like a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx. They have, they have name brand kind of stuff that probably didn't sell very well, or they had leftovers or whatever they call it, and they bring it to this store. So I just thought, okay, I went in there. I got this sweater, not for nothing, out of Ross. So cute. And I was in there, and I was in a 1X part, and I was like, this stuff looks kind of big, but it's probably my size. Well, I tried it on over the shirt I had on, and it was big, and so I ended up going to the extra large, and things could fit, and I just couldn't believe it. So it's just really hard to see yourself when you're losing weight. It's just, geez Louise. But yeah, so again, if I don't drop another pound, I am okay with myself. But do I want to get to my goal? Yeah, I got to see this go through. I want to get to what did we say? I want to be at I would have to get to a 24% body fat range to be normal. And I think in my weight range, that's like between 145 and 149. So I say in between 145 and 150. I think 150 is going to be my new goal, and I could dip my toe in the normal range every now and then. But for now, not for nothing, I got to get to this 100 pounds down. I'm still lingering out there in the 80s. I got to get to the 100 pounds down. So that's my ultimate goal. All right. So you're saying 30 plus. Okay, a songstress. I can't remember. What is 30 plus? What did you say? Look at fabulous, honey. Hello, live a healthy life. She said, "Hey, Miss Dee and family. I made your live better late than never." Yeah, I'm still on here chatting it up. You said, "I took my first 5 milligram shot and I weighed this morning. 0 weight loss, only 5 pounds." Don't say only. 5 pounds on 2.1 slow responder. I pay 5 milligrams. And you pray 5 milligrams is better. And it probably will be. And that's okay. Some people have a slow start. And I always think too, it depends on how jacked up your body was, to be honest. If you weren't, I think my body metabolically was not in the worst condition. As I've seen some people, you think you're in the worst position. And then I see so many people who had all these comorbidities and all this stuff going on for years and years and years. And luckily I caught myself right when it first started. So hopefully I didn't do as much damage to myself as, that I could have done. So I think that's it. That also is a part of it too. So hopefully that gives you hope. Don't give up. I know people who start off slow and then they have surpassed me now, and I'm 86 pounds down. So I just think you're going to be okay. So let's see what that 5 does. You got to keep me posted and hang in there. Take your injection, do all the things, with the eating, the movement, water, sleep, and I think you'll be good. I felt uncomfortable shopping in the smaller sizes. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? The next time you go and show her that you're in a 10, 12, whatever you're in, and that you're going to be motivation for her to get in it. I need to get into Stokes. I may join the club. Yes, Shani, come and join us. Yes. You really, everybody should know about sex. And this is YouTube. I mean, one thing about it is we can all go on YouTube and Google stuff and learn stuff, but it really helps when you're with a group of like-minded people for anything, which we know, right? Because this is the GLP-1 community. You know, when you're in there with people, you know, who are holding you accountable, encouraging you, motivating you, seeing how well other people are doing, having that be a motivation for you to want to do it. So I say that with stocks, with your job, with anything you're doing. I think having like-minded people around you is obviously beneficial, right? Being in church, because I know you know you are a praying lady, you're a pastor. So even church, being with those like-minded people, and every now and then you might get those, you know, those chuckleheads, I call them, the naysayers, even in church, right? And you just, you know, you just deal with those folks, and you know, you try to help them along, and you keep it moving. So, and that's why I say it's always chuckleheads in every group, and you just gotta, you know, deal with the chuckleheads and keep it moving. No, I was talking about not my email, the link to our stock club. The link to our stock club, and I could go in there. I could probably go in the description and get it out. And oh yeah, she's on it. She's Louise Mill. So anybody in the chat that want to join, you know, go in there. She said doses of Shawnee could come over. So Nicole, you love Ross. That was my first time in Ross. My daughter wants to go back. When I tell you, I'm gonna have to take a picture. She got the cutest jeans from Ross, Nicole, and then she said to me, she's like, I watched them, you know, I watched because I've been home this week. I've been washing a little bit more often. So she wore Monday. She couldn't wait to wear this outfit she got there on Monday. By Wednesday, when I had washed the clothes and folded them up and put them in her room, she came up to me yesterday. Oh, yeah, last night, and said, Mom, can I wear these jeans with this top? And I said, no, you wore those already. She's like, well, but they're clean. And I said, no, but we don't wear the same clothes in the same week. Like, you don't need to. And she said, but I want to. I said, no. And she said, but it's clean. I said, honey, you got to wear that on Monday. So she has her outfit ready to go on Monday with those pants. They have pockets. They're super cute. They're what do you call those? Wide leg pants. And I said to her, we got to find some in my size so we could be 20. They're so cute. We tried to find a pink sweater in her size and they didn't have one. But yeah, there's that. Okay, so what are you guys saying? I scrolled down. Okay, we were on Shawnee. Okay. I do believe in body autonomy, and I think that eventually everyone will have access, just like when people go get Botox. It was initially approved for cross eyes and other issues. And think about it. So was Viagra. At first, Viagra was not approved for men to have longevity down there. And eventually it's used for that. So a lot of medications start off doing one thing and they end up figuring out that they can do something else. So I wonder, I'm not going to go there. This would have to be a DD after dark. If that same thought crossed your mind that I just crossed mine, put a heart in the chat. Or should I say put a broken heart in the chat? Because if you take too much Viagra, you might not make it. Jeez, Louise. Oh my goodness. Sorry if you're a guy in the chat. What about that young guy that popped on here and said, fly me out? Some of these young guys, not for nothing, are taking Viagra too, so they can last a long time. Like, cut that out. Is that you, the guy that said, fly me out? Oh, I crack myself up sometimes. They are called ketovore. Oh, you are kidding me. I learned something new. When they eat a little veggies now and then, I gain weight on keto. You gained weight? Jeez Louise. And now, were you eating other stuff though? Or were you eating like the fatty kind of meats and stuff? Interesting. Ketovore. Let me give you some confetti because you done taught me a new word. Jeez Louise. Keto and me are never gonna work out. I just can't see myself. If I do keto, it would have to be for like a wedding, to fit in a dress, something like that, you know, like a 3 to 4 week maximum. But yeah, on a regular basis, no. I don't think there's anything wrong with people wanting to look better and taking GLP-1s to get there. However, in big caps, there should be tight reins on how much people can access so it doesn't lead to disorders. Yeah. And you know what? I didn't really think about the disorders of it all until I saw that that lady. And when I saw that lady, and I'm thinking, at one point I could see my face looking a little caved in a little bit, and I was just like, geez Louise, this is not the way I want to go. And I still got 70 pounds to lose. So I can see how though you could get down to those sizes and want to keep going, right? Because when is the last time you thought, if you ever thought or dreamed of being like 130 or 120 and you get close to that, you're thinking, go for it, not realizing that it might not be the size for you. And I think this is why this BMI needs an adjustment ASAP. Simply Taisha. She says, hey, DD and Divalicious fam. Just wanted to say hello. I eat lots of carbs and my A1C has been steadily declining. I couldn't imagine eating a diet that had minimal carbs. Yes. And I think that's because, you're a whole food girl, already. So other than maybe, I don't even know if you're eating yogurt. I don't think you eat yogurt. I don't think you eat anything animal products. So that's probably why your veins and everything is like, we love you. Very good. So I love that. So let's give you some A1C because a carb girl to the heart. Jeez Louise. All right. Thanks for stopping in, Taisha. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. When I give confetti, you see how I get off task? Okay. Miss V, how are you? She says, hello, everyone. Just saying hello. Just finished a hotel gym leg day. Just finished out a hotel gym leg day. Have a great weekend. Miss V, you are looking so fabulous. I mean, geez, Louise, you have a great weekend too. Okay, so you said, girl, us fixed income people are very... Well, I'm gonna be on a fixed income too. So join me. You're gonna be on here. You're gonna be are you retired? Living a healthy life? Because you could be my new BFF when I retire on these live streams. I don't know. I might go ghost. I don't think so though. I want to be talking about retirement. I got so much to say about it. So I might be over there doing that, but I'm going to stick to what I'm doing on my DD channel too. I just might do that in addition to. Everyone thought I've lost 42% of your BMI is 20. What? Okay, Ange, I am mad at that. Geez, Louise, so your BMI, so you're right on that cusp. See, that would be me. I would get all the way down like that, and then I'd still be overweight. But guess what, Ange? Say it with me. We're looking fabulous. We got to go with that. Jeez, Louise. Oh, my goodness. Let me give you some confetti. You're still fabulous. How about that? Oh, that was a call center. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got distracted. So I looked over on my phone. It said, it's so strange that because when I called them, I thought I called direct, but this was a call center. So it says, in our call center, it says, somebody they said the name in our call center notified me to move the plumbing appointment to next week, next Saturday. So, geez, Louise, that was a call center. Okay, all right, interesting. Okay, because I texted. I didn't call the number. I dialed to call them for the appointment. They sent me a reminder, and the number looked like a local number, but it's a call. So people are so tricky because you know how you see like 1-800 numbers, and you're like, I'm not answering. I know that's a 1-800. Now they're tricking you. They got local numbers. Jeez, Louise, people are so up on it. They're like, you're not blocking me, 188. No, this is a regular area code. Even though it's in a 1-800, it's like, geez, Louise, you're You're in another state, pretending like you're in Ohio. Jeez, Louise, because you got that area code. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things you learn. Sadly, disorders of it all that have already started, right? Yeah, it has. I've seen it with some folks, and I just say sometimes people just need love and support, and you got to have somebody to tell you you're going down the wrong road, right? That's why I say never be one of those people that know it all. You can't tell anything to, because somebody might want to be giving you some helpful information, and you're not willing to hear it. So that's it. That's all. I agree, says Tangy. How are you? This is so funny when I realize I haven't greeted these people. I'm like, all right. So Tangy says, I totally agree. The access should be there, but people should be ashamed for deciding not to take it. And additional supports needs to go along with the injections. I think we're going to get to that too. I do. I think we're going to get to that where support for some people, it will be like a requirement that you have therapy. And I know, that when people were saying that a long time ago, people didn't want to hear that. They were like, don't tell me I need therapy. No. And I think eventually they're going to have you jumping through a lot of hoops to get the meds if you're not paying out of pocket. So I think that's going to be a reality. And would I sit down with a good doctor to get my meds? Absolutely. When do you want to meet? What time? Do you got a nice couch? And I prefer it to be a certain color, but I'm going to go with what my insurance says I can afford. You guys know I have a red couch, a red leather couch. I love all things red. If I could get a red couch to lay up on, I'm going for it. I crack myself up sometimes. Jeez, Louise. Let's see. Okay, so the people are saying hello to Taisha. Our girl Taisha, we love you. Okay. Doses of Shiny says it feels good to wear smaller sizes. Bought a medium swimsuit. Medium. Oh, and you were like, whoa. I love that. And you're in Wonderland too. And geez, Louise, that's awesome, Shani. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's give you some confetti, not the swimsuit that's a size medium. Shani, you gotta go. I picture your theme song being, what's the name of that group, guys, that sang the song How You Like Me Now? Dun, 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 How You Like Me Now? Who is that? Was it not Houdini? It's some guy who sang that song, How You Like Me Now. It's a rapper. I picture you walking up in the spot saying, how do you like me now? I love that for you. Okay, so yeah, Ross, you guys are saying the Ross of it all. They have good this is a good one for her too, right? With those look, it's coming from another one with body yada 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 yada. Now Shani's body is a little more curvy and bigger, and then Mel's, she has that curvy like slim body, that slim goodie going on. So I love it. You can have curves at a bigger size and you can have curves at a smaller size. I love that. So it's like not one size does not fit all. You know what I'm saying? We love it. You said you don't have funds to invest, maybe $1,000. What kind? A lot. You could have bought an Eli Lilly stock for $600 some dollars, doubled that, went back and bought another one, doubled that. Like, come on. I can tell you how to double it. What did BBD say? Slap it up, flip it, rub it down. I can show you how to double that $1,000 the legal way. So I love that. Yeah, you can. You can. I'm going to be operating on a retirement budget. So I get it. I get it. All right. So I love that. So we're going to be, are you retired though? Did you say you were retired? Because you're going to be my new BFF. Don't sleep on Marshalls or TJ Maxx too. Great for when you are losing and need a few affordable sizes. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love that. But you know what, Miss B, not for nothing. I'm not buying a thing else. That was one of my jobs this summer. When I tell you, that's the day I got in all those stuff. I was so, well, that was another day I got into all those stuff. I was so overwhelmed with all the clothes I have. Now, granted, some of those are too big, but I feel like this is like I got a lot of like sheer type of shirts with let's see if my dad's calling me. No. Okay. All right. So I have a lot of sheer type of shirts. That what was I gonna say? Oh, sheer type of shirts that are bigger. Like I could tell they're probably a little bit too big, but I'm gonna wear them and then I'll launder, put them in wash them, take them to the dry cleaners because they're those shirts that you can't give away wrinkled. They're not gonna look like cute. So I'm gonna, probably get them dry clean. Find a dry cleaner that's doing dry cleaning cheap, like not where I normally go, where they're charging you an arm and a leg. But they have some places around I heard that were like, they charge real cheap to dry clean clothes, but it's like a minimum you got to take. So this is perfect. So I'll take them this summer and I'll give them away, and maybe take them to like a Dress for Success place. But still, that's my plan. So, but I had so many clothes. I'm like, I cannot buy a thing else. So I am done buying things. Yeah, I'm done buying things for a while now. So we'll see. Now, I might come on here. I know Bellflower is going to tell me in a heartbeat, that's too big. But that's okay. And I was talking to Mel. I was saying, I had so many clothes. I don't think in a lot of these videos, I haven't worn the same thing twice. Most of the time when I'm wearing something twice, it might be a tank top or a jacket, but the clothes, I have so many clothes. I have stuff I have not even worn. And a lot of it is because I couldn't fit it. I ate myself out of it. So now I'm going down in these sizes. I can fit it. So I got a lot of sweaters I never even wore. Some sweaters are still kind of fit too tight. So maybe next winter, hopefully I can't even fit those. I'm gonna be too small for those. So yeah, the clothes things is a serious thing. I'm one of those people that was buying too much, and I wear black pants every day. So I know at work, they're like, dang, this girl wears black pants. And when I remember years and years ago, when I had my housewarming, I had one for my family and friends. So I had two housewarmings. I had one for my family and friends and one for my coworkers, only because it was going to be a lot of people in the house. So I just thought, I'm going to break this up. So when I had the one for my coworkers, I showed them, and this was before I was, even a mom had my daughter. So I had her room that she has now, it was my closet. And so they were in there in one of my closets, and the whole room was closets. Plus I got two other rooms that is a closet walk-in, a little bit walk-in. And so I had a lot of stuff in there. And the one lady, she looked at my closet with just all the pants, and it was like black, 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 stacked up black trousers and pants. And then I had a hanging, like a hanging one. And so, I mean, I could wear pants probably from now to the end of the school year and not wear the same pair of black pants. That's how many black pants I have. Do I need all those black pants? Absolutely not. But it helps when, and I'm one of those people, I don't like when laundry stacks up, right? But that just goes to show you how you're buying in surplus things you don't need. I don't need all those pants. That was when I was younger and just had money. Before I had kids, I'm a late bloomer. I was buying at Louis Vuitton and Gucci and shoes and glasses and hats. Now, no, okay. Now, not for nothing, I can't do that. I'm first of all, my daughter's expensive. Second of all, I'm on a retirement budget. And third of all, I don't need that stuff. That stuff needs me. How about that? So I don't need that stuff to look fabulous. They need me to buy it and spend the money, but I don't need it. So there's that. Dee Dee got me dying. Oh, I'm glad. I want to entertain. I'm here to entertain you guys. I make my own self laugh sometimes. I don't even know what you guys are laughing at, but I think if you're having a good time, I'm having a good time. Ross has been good to me, losing 10 pounds a month. Let me give you some confetti. Now, let me be clear. We don't have to be successful to lose 10 pounds a month. But when I see somebody doing it, I'm going to give you all kind of kudos because good for you. Okay, what else did you say? You had me at I lost 10 pounds a month. Okay, so you had to lose 10. So you lost 10 pounds a month. You had to have clothes that fit, right? You were able to get reasonable items. Yes. I love that. Very good. Oh, Miss Linda, you can be my new PFF too. You're retired. You love retirement life. And I love to see you. I gotta get me a poo, Miss Brenda, because you're enjoying it. I mean, Miss Linda, because you're enjoying it with your hubby. Is your hubby retired too? So you guys are enjoying each other. I just love that for you guys. So I got to get me a boo, because otherwise, Miss Linda, I'm going to be at my daughter's school, driving them crazy, volunteering until I get a part-time job. I do plan to get a part-time job, but I'm going to wait until after this winter here in Ohio. I'm going to wait. And so, because I like drive 45 minutes in the terrain, honey. I mean, when I say terrain, I mean the snow, the sleet, the rain, all of it. And our winters can be rough here. So I just want to have an experience without that. And so I got to enjoy at least one of those. And I'm going to have more, right? Because when I do get a part-time job, I want it to be remote. And I'm going to think about that, because I don't need to do any more sitting, right? So I might have to get one of those standing desks if I do a remote job. I might have to invest in that. So we shall see. I don't know. I just want God to continue to bless me, keep my mind strong, stay focused on my health goals, and I want to stay healthy. And so that's my thing. Whatever else, and be able to just maintain my same lifestyle. And if I am blessed to do that, I don't really need anything else. My daughter and my family to stay healthy. And that's it. I'm just a simple girl. I'm a simple girl. I'm not in a Barbie world. I'm not made of plastic. You guys know that song, the Barbie World song. Did you guys see that movie? I thought that was an interesting movie. I took my daughter and I thought they should have, somebody might have warned me, and I just thought, oh, how bad could it be? That was not for little kids at all. Luckily, my daughter is still green. She didn't get any of some of those nuances and things they were saying and doing. But yeah, that movie is a trip. Okay. All right. So those of the Shani said it can be tricky. I'm 10 in the 10s and 12s, and my face is so small to me, but my visceral fat is still a little high. So I need to lose more. I'm scared my face will. That's what I am. I'm worried about that. And I'm still in the 220s. What do I do? Keep losing? I don't know. One of the things is, in September, Shani, not September, December is when I, just kind of got off my routine. I had that death come along. It just shook me up. And, it was just like, I don't want to even get emotional talking about it, but it was a hard time. That December was a hard time for me. I had a hard time getting back on track. December, January. I even probably took it into February, where I really wasn't like on track like I normally am. And one thing I realized too is I haven't set another goal. I just kind of been loosey goosey out here. And I realized for myself yesterday, I had like a revelation that I needed to set a new goal, because I'm a goal setter, and I'm not just a goal setter. I reach my goals. And I thought, why don't I have a goal? And I think I was trying not to put pressure on myself, but I realized I'm somebody who needs to set a goal. Like I need to do A, B, and C by this date. If I don't do that, I'm not going to be really successful. I'm just going to be kind of willy-nilly out here. But I was thinking, one of the things I loved about it is that I felt like my face filled back up a little bit, which is what you see now. Now, if you look at me and look at some older videos, you can see my face has slimmed down. But I'm going to find this one, and I would look at myself in the mirror at school, because we got a full-length mirror. You can't avoid yourself when you go to the bathroom. And, because you got to walk toward the to wash your hands, and that full view mirror is there. And I would see my face and think, and see this skin. Like now it's not even as bad. Look at this skin. It was worse at one point, but it's because I started to fill out a little bit, and stop trying to do the little exercises and stuff I was doing. I stopped all that because I thought, I do not want an Ozempic face. So I would rather have some extra fat in my hips, butts, and thighs than to have like that Ozempic looking face. Like for me, I just don't want that for myself. So I get it. So you have to go with the weight that's good for you. Ultimately, you want to be able to look in the mirror and love what you see. And I say, if you look in the mirror and you don't love what you see, then you're in the position now where you can, control that, do the body count, figure out what you need to do. Talk to somebody who's going to talk to you about your face and how you want your face to look without the surgery, right? So maybe go to a dermatologist, maybe go to a med spa, to a skin specialist that could help you with that. I plan on doing that this summer, going to, it's a spa I like to go to, and talking to them about, what you could use, the creams and all of that. So that's what I would do. But I would get to a healthy weight. If you see your face, I would do that before, though. If your face is as thin as you want it, you need an intervention now to kind of help that. And I'm not a fan of like pump it. Now, I don't, if you do it for you, that's okay. But I just think if we're talking about health, is it really healthy to inject stuff in your face like that? That just doesn't sound healthy to me. And I think sometimes, and I don't want to get on the soapbox on here, because I'm not at my goal. I'm real big on it. If you're not at your goal, you should be getting after other people. But one thing I don't do is I don't just do stuff, inject stuff in my body just to be doing. And so I'm not getting any extra anything. I don't want Botox. I don't want extra fillers in my, face. Now I say that I'm never going to say never, because I'm on here looking at myself on YouTube and criticizing, being critical of what I see. So I might get on here one day and say, gosh, my face is so small, I need something injected. I just don't think I'll do that. That's not for me. But other people might like that. But I just think if you're going to be healthy, you got to be healthy overall. So that means, and now if you are somebody who's not preaching it, you do what you do. But if you're on YouTube telling people how to be healthy, I think you need to be healthy in everything you're doing, not just the weight loss. So that means drinking and smoking too, because we know those things aren't great for you either. And I mean, the stuff that makes you feel good smoking it, and the stuff that's which is not so great on your lungs either, and the stuff that we know that eventually can kill you, right? Which is the cigarettes. So if you're one of these content creators talking about health, we'll talk about all aspects of being healthy. So, and I don't want to get on my soapbox, because I think if you smoke and drink and whatever you got to do to, or makes you feel good, you got an occasional cocktail, you're drinking a cocktail every day, whatever you're doing, it doesn't affect me, right? So I'm okay with that. But I just think if you want to be healthy overall, we got to look at all the ways to be healthy. And not for nothing, if you're on here preaching to me about how to lose weight and what you're doing, and then you're over there, pulling back a couple of brewskis and smoking those cigarettes and smoking those funny, my grandmother used to call them funny sticks. The ones that are legal in some states and not in others. I just think you got to be careful about being preachy to people, right? Because everybody comes along at their own pace. And I find a lot of times the preachy people are doing other things that they shouldn't be doing. And, and then they're preaching to you about what to do. So I just think we got to be careful. Now, if you're on here saying, lose weight, slim down, I'm doing other things that might not be the healthiest, but for me, it works for me, that's great. But if you're on here trying to beat me up about that I can't get past to my 100 pounds, don't do that, because I see you. I'm just joking. And I'm not. Okay, well, wait, I saw people giving us, wait a minute, I see some stuff going on. Wait a second, flashing lights. Okay, Dee Dee, thank you for inserting joy into our Friday. I just adore you, even when we fight. Don't tell people we fight. Oh, I'm taking Bernice to see you, me, and oh my goodness, are you in a Tuscany light? You talked about that. Help support filmmakers, actors of color. Very good. So you're taking your mom. I love that. I know you talked about going. And now she hit me with the $12.99 special. I love it. Thank you. Geez Louise, now I can take my daughter to the movie. Thank you, Mel. So here we member now. Taisha has been a member forever, and then I changed my membership. So Taisha, welcome back. Taisha texted me and said, "What? I saw that, but I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw the preview of it," and said, "Wait a minute, you changed your membership." I did. I changed it because I started that DD Inner Circle group. So when I started that, I took off that top $9.99. But let me just take this as an opportunity to say, because I got time. I don't have to go to work. Thank you for joining. Let me give her a thank you, first of all. No, I'm back, Diva. So let me just say, when you're a member, one of the pluses about being a member, I have two membership tiers. One of them is just like to come in the chats to say hello. You're supposed to get priority. So if you're a member and you want to make a comment, it's something you could push. Now, StreamYard is a little different. And Mel always says you don't really promote your memberships. And that's because I don't really see a lot that goes on through StreamYard. So I'm going to contact them when June gets here and I have time. I don't have time to sit on the phone, like I told you, and talk to these folks unless it's with my dad. That's like priority. But so I'm going to talk to these StreamYard people because I'm thinking I don't see emojis on here. Why not? I mean, geez Louise, not for nothing, I should be seeing emojis. But I know it's something you can push and make a comment as a member, and that will stand out. And then normally, if I see it, they don't even make it stand out enough. So, but if I see that, those are the comments I could go to first. So that's one of the pluses of being a member. It's support. Because if somebody say, "I really love you, Diva," I want to support you. Joining the membership is a way to support. So I love that. And I want to say it's the lower one is $2.99, and then the one where I send membership things and you get the videos early. That one I want to say is $5.99. It might be $4.99 or $5.99. That membership. And that membership, it's just you get, a little bit more, right? But the main idea is like you're supporting your content creator, because honestly, we don't get paid a ton of money on here. I've seen people showing what they make, and I feel blessed whenever I see those numbers because I have some good numbers. And whenever I see that, I just saw, a couple other people showing what they made. And these people are with views so much more than mine. And what's helped me do so well is the support, the super chat, and the things I even count that, but some of the things I'm doing off YouTube to kind of help support people with the stocks and my DD Inner Circle, which is a kind of a smaller private group. I think once I get to the summer when school's out for me, I am going to start advertising those outside of this GLP-1 community and advertising that to people that may not be on here. And, people who just really want to learn about stocks, retirement, growing your portfolio, some things I've learned. And some people who have it together, you might say, "Oh, I got all this already together." Not for nothing. It is something to be said about learning from other people. I truly, really do believe in that. So if you're not a member, consider becoming a member. At some point, you might say, "Oh, she's just doing that. She's pumping up her membership because she's retired." I'm really not. I'm pumping it up because I'm going to have time to pump it up. Right now, Mel always says to me, and I don't think about it, like, "You never really mention your membership. You don't say this and that. You don't push it." And that's just because I just don't think about it. I mean, I have so much going on. That's like the least thing on my list is doing that. But so when I do have time to promote things, I'm going to promote things. I just kind of don't have time. And, it's just, I'm busy. So that's kind of the reason why. And I need to go and get some of these people that I want to join their memberships just to support. And I haven't done that. So when in June, I plan on getting my buns out and exploring a little bit more. Okay, I saw that. So you are retired. My new BFF is retired. Okay, live a healthy life. Okay, all right. So I hope I answered your question. You had a part 2, Shani. Let me see. I don't see if I could see it. And let's see. Okay. I don't see where you said anything, Shani. Okay. All right. I know people are like, what is this lady doing on here in pink on a Friday? Okay. All right. Okay. So I can't find her part 2. Maybe it'll come up. I say do what you're comfortable with. If you're looking at yourself and you would, however you feel, because we're the ones who got to look at ourselves no matter what people are doing. Um, I did want to say something about Mel and I. Mel and I are like sisters. She would be a bigger sister, and she thinks she knows, but sometimes I have to let her know I know too. Big sister Mel. But Mel and I, we do disagree. People might think like, oh, she's over there. Mel is on her channel. This, that, and the other. Mel and I disagree, and that's why I say for people who say, like, oh, she has to be right. She's on her channel. She wants to be right. And this, that, and the other. I don't, Mel and I disagree. If she has her opinion and I have mine, and guess what? I respect her opinion and I feel like she respects mine too. And sometimes, I say something and she is like, okay, I see what you're saying now. And then later on down the road, she'll say something, I'll disagree. And I say to her, yeah, you were right about that. I see what you were saying now. So yeah, we're not just like, oh, we agree with everything. And we have our thing where we're like, she thinks A, I think B. And I think that's good. I think that's a healthy relationship. And I say to people, when you're friends with somebody, I know you want to be able to agree on everything, but do you agree with your husband on everything? Do you agree with your kids on everything? You're not going to agree with friends on everything. You're just not. And you have to be okay with that. And I always say, that's how you know a friendship is when you disagree and you can get back on track and keep it moving, and disagree respectfully and keep it moving. And the people you can't do that with, I would argue and say there probably was not a friend, because friends should be able to, lovingly support you and disagree with you in a loving and disrespectful way. And not try to control you too and what you think and how you think. And it's hard to control me, so I don't even worry about that. I got my own opinions and I love that. All right. So the songstress is saying, wait, I forgot. Let me go back up to her. My movie's 19 thanks to Mounjaro. What did she say? What do you mean by your movies 19 thanks to Mounjaro? What's 19? Ribeye, New York strip, all the meats, butter, no sugar, dairy, legumes, nothing else. Did carnivore for a month, did keto several months, gained 8 pounds. Keto worked when I'm younger. Oh, so you are retired. Okay, I love that. We're gonna be retirement buddies. Oh, was that cool, Modi? She said, you got a nice couch. Yeah, I don't want to be sitting on anything. Because don't you feel like sometimes insurance, depending on what you got, they're going to pay for the least expensive thing they can get. Can I get some luxury going on with my therapy? That's the kind of girl I am. I got to say, it's no shame in my game. Kumo D, yes, look at you guys knowing. Taisha, you know all the songs. I say if not for nothing, if there's a song I don't know, if my daughter will ask me, I said, should we text simply Taisha, and then she asks Google. But Taisha knows the songs. Yes, I know you know. Nia is on it too. Jeez, Louise. If you're not diabetic, the songstress says, or obese, then no, you should not take a GLP-1. Okay, so you say if you're not diabetic or obese, you say no. Okay, I like how somebody has a different opinion. And why do you say that though? Is there a reason why? Like, what is the reason? You said you are a mess. Yes, I agree. It's not that's a dilemma. It's based I base it on how you feel. Me too. And if you're okay with looking at yourself, do I think my dad would be offended by what? I'm scrolling down so late. I'm so sorry, strong sis, because I'm scrolling down late. I'm not getting the context. Double your money, the legal. You done buying things? Then you just say you have a new shirt on now. Some of those bigger clothes are not even in style for the new DD. That's what Mel was telling me. Well, you know what? I'm done after the Ross, right? I cut it off. So my spring break, I said to myself, I'm gonna get a couple things that's a little what do you call that? A couple things that's a little That's my newer size, right? And then after that, I am done. After that, I am done. So thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me. Jeez, Louise. Do I think my dad would be offended? Are you talking about telling his talking about his medical stuff? No, I asked him if I could share this with people. He's like, I don't care that he was denied. But it's only so much of his business I'm gonna share out. I just think that's respectful. He would never know, but still, why would I do that? So yeah, there's that. Okay, Keshna, how are you? How are you? Okay, definitely you have to buy in a surplus shopper. You have been a surplus shopper. Yes, I regret it. As the weight comes off, I'm donating clothes, shoes, and will maintain a simpler wardrobe. Yes. Now, I've only bought, even since I've been on this journey, I'm going to be honest, I've only bought, I would say, less than 10 items. Since I've been, is that true? In my extra large size, yes. Because that's my new size. But even though most of my clothes are like 18, 20s, I got some 14, 16s that I could fit one, a size one, which is like a 14 in this Torrid store I shop at. So I haven't really bought a whole lot. All those clothes where I was saying I have all those pants and stuff, those are all 18, 20s, 20s, 22, some of the pants. So some of those pants, I put a belt on and I keep it moving. Now, the pants I'm wearing now are 16. I do have some 14s I'm wearing, but not for nothing. They are stretched. They're not like, I was telling somebody, to me, your true size is if it doesn't stretch. Now, that's just what I say. Now, you could go, I could squeeze my buns into a 12 and tell everybody I wear a 12. Guess what? I don't. It's stretched out so much. So I'm not a believer in that. I'm not trying to make myself look like I wear a smaller size, because you all can see I'm not slim and trim like that. So I'm not even going to play myself and be all here saying I'm a 10 when I'm really a 14, 16. I'm just not. Now, I could squeeze into some, 10s and 12s probably, but they got to, Miss B, they got to stretch out a whole lot, a heck of a lot. And that's not your true size. But if it makes you feel good, do it. I'm not anybody who's trying to take somebody else down with, if you feel good saying you wear an 8 and you really don't, say you wear an 8. Who's gonna know? All of us. But we're not gonna say anything. We're not gonna say anything. Okay, that's too funny. Okay, all right. Lord, please send Dee Dee a boo that meets her needs and someone she can. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you said, oh, you got your stuff and you're a bit nervous to start. Any tips? Yes. Okay, so let's give her some tips. You guys probably already did. Executive assistant has some remote options. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, I love that. Executive assistant. That sounds super fancy, smancy. It sounds like I got to work harder than I want to in retirement. Geez, Louise. Okay, so any tips? I would say you're just starting. First of all, take that first injection. Just take it, get it over with. And I would say, just eat protein first. I would say cut those fried foods out, because a lot of times people take it, Keshna, and just eat as usual. I would say go in just with little tweaks if you just can't do everything. But I would say give up the fried foods, and I would say give up the sodas. If you're drinking sodas and any sugary drinks, start there. Give that stuff up. And I know people cut carbs and do all that. If you can do all that, great. But if you just start with the cutting out the and eating heavy foods like pasta with all that rich sauce, and I say that because that probably is going to mess your stomach up. And it may not, but I feel like if you want a working great start, like I feel like you're setting yourself up. Like if this was a relay race and somebody was passing you the baton, you want to set yourself up for success. So I would start off with that protein, get you some protein, high protein snacks, and not like the chips and dips of it all. I mean, like a good protein bar that has 20 grams of fat, or has 20 grams of protein or more. You know, Aldi's, I know people love Aldi's, and you go to Aldi's and they have some great, I mean, they have this great protein bar. I want to say it has between 6 and 9 grams of protein. That baby tastes like a Snickers. I mean, and I could throw back a couple of those. I bought a box of those. I remember eating 2 in a day, and they were close together. They were that good. They're not that big. Then I learned what a good protein bar consisted of, if that's the route you go. Some people don't even believe in eating that because they could taste like candy. So I would say get a good protein shake, or make a good shake that has protein in it. So if you can't eat all the protein, you can drink it. So that's what I would do. I would get movement in, which I know before you got hurt, you were actually moving, because she has a YouTube channel, and on her channel, I'll never forget, she reminds me of that Weight with Jazz. If anybody watches Weight with Jazz, Keshna, do you know Weight with Jazz? You reminded me of her, because she used to be on her stepper, like you had a stepper. And so you do the movement. So I would keep the movement going. If you can't do the stepper, to walk around, even if you walk around your house, if you have steps in your house, go up and down, up and down. I would do that. And I would drink lots of water, because that's going to help with that constipation. If you're somebody who gets constipation, I would take this, Keshna. Is the link in my description for this Mango 7. I would take that. I would also get some magnesium. That's going to help with sleep at night. And this is just my suggestions. You could do whatever you want. If you want to take something like some gummies, I would do that. And look, I'm almost out of my gummies. If you take 2. So I don't even know where I got this one from extra, but because usually they're paired up since you take 2. Maybe I ate an extra one. or maybe one dropped and I threw it away, because if something drops, I throw it away. So I would take that. I love this protein shake right here. That's what is in my coffee right now. I got this psyllium husk. It's a fiber. If you want to take a pill, like a supplement, and not do the powder. And I know a lot of people like Miralax. I've never taken Miralax. This is another thing I use for energy. Can you see it? Okay, it's B12. You spray it a couple times, and I love it. And I love the brand Garden of Life. Is a little bit more expensive, but again, I say all vitamins are not created equal. And some vitamins, I'm just going to buy the top quality that I can get, because I realize that all of them aren't created equal. So that's what I would do. Now, I don't know what other people are telling you to do. Get some sleep. Sleep is another thing. I think we take that for granted. I would get some sleep, because, you know, you want to be looking like you are. If you're 30, you want to be looking like you're 20, 25. If you're 40, you want to be looking like you're 35, 30. If you're my age, you want to be looking like you're in your 40s. And I say any day I could give these 40-year-olds and some 30-year-olds a run for their money. Big thighs and all. So dare me. Dare anybody who says I can't. You come on here. We can have a competition. Jeez Louise, you know, it's used to, back in the day, you know, it wasn't it, you know, like a lot of you, have you been bigger, and if you're a smaller girl, sorry about this, but I'm talking to you. But when I back in the day, even when I was a bigger girl, I used to say, like, some of these girls, you know, think because you're a bigger girl, you can't get the guy. And I would prove them wrong time and time again. Now, when we go on my DD meetup, I'm going to show you the guy that this girl thought that he was so into her. And really, he was into me. Now, this is not my friend. I don't really, you know, I knew of this girl, but I didn't know her. But I know she liked this guy. And I think she was surprised that he liked me because I was bigger. Not, she was cuter. But a lot of times, some of these girls that's not as cute used to think that just because they're skinny, they could get the guy. So yeah, so it's just so funny. And it is that energy, Darian, because a lot of times when you're a bigger girl, and you might experience this as a guy, a lot of times people think, like, you know, you can't get a guy, the guy's not looking at you. That's not always true. So I'm just saying, Yeah, you could be a skinny mini out there, but I'm telling you, don't come over here because Dee got that energy. Now, I don't want somebody else's man. So it's not that I'll take your man. I don't want somebody else's man because guess what? He got to have all the time, energy, and effort for me. And he can't do that with me and you. So I don't want somebody else's man. I want a man that's he got time because my love language is being attentive towards me. And again, you ain't gonna have time for me, her, and her. Like this is exclusive over here. Which is probably why I'm single because I'm not going for it. Yeah, I'm only going for the exclusive. You said I don't know her. I had to. Oh, okay. I don't know her. I had something because I was on the phone. Okay, well, yeah, she reminds me of you. This Wait with Jazz because she used to be on her stepper. She would go live and stuff on her stepper, so it reminded me of you. All right, so what are you guys saying? I didn't got off on a tangent with my girl Taisha. You said, and that's okay because guess what? You're not over here lecturing me about losing weight, so I'm good with that. Now, if you start lecturing me about losing weight, I'm gonna remind you you're drinking and smoking all the time. That is too funny. I love that. I love that for you. That's okay, honey. That is okay. A nice cocktail. I know some people who just can't. They get to this Friday and they gotta have a nice cocktail. And I have to have a nice mocktail or coffee. Cheers. Whatever your drink of choice is. As they say, everything in moderation. We just can't abuse it. How about that? And that's a lesson I could not do with the food. So I get it. That's why I'm not bashing anybody for what they do because we all have our flaws. We all have things that, we just got to work on. Mine is eating. It's not. It's not drinking and smoking. Thank goodness, because I couldn't handle more than one vice. Jeez Louise. Dee, your face is gorgeous. You will never. I hope so, Miss Linda. Thank you. I hope so. Yours too. You're looking good over there. I never wanted surgery or Botox. My face may not be as small as I see it. Okay. What are your sons telling you? Because they're the truth too. They're going to tell you the truth. Sometimes we get used to seeing ourselves a certain way. My doctor and my esthetician says I look healthy. And I think you do too. But you say you see small. Your face is obviously thinner. I could see that, from just your YouTube, showing yourself. So go over there and check out Doses of Shani. I always forget to say that. I just be in my zone. But I think you know how you want to look. You know how you want to be seen. And I just think you got to go with how you feel. Sometimes those numbers don't align with how you feel. And if you have healthy numbers otherwise, now you're in a great position to kind of, position yourself with how you want to look and feel and be. So what if I come on here and say, this is a question for the masses out there and whoever's watching. What if I come on here and say, I want to get to 199 and I'm putting myself in maintenance. Now that 199, I'm still going to be obese. What would you guys say? I want to know. If I said I'm in maintenance, I'm at 199, I met my goal. I'm on here I probably by that time, maybe I'll be in a size large or medium. And I say, I'm good. What would you guys say? Would you be like, we're not watching Dee anymore. She wants to stay obese. I know some of you will be like, girl, you better slim it down. So what would you say or think if I came on here and said that? Let's see. You said that sounds scary getting injections in the face. It does. I don't know how people do it, but geez, Louise, I'm such a scary little lady. I don't want to see. Oh, Taisha, you're so sweet. She's like, I didn't see a star by my name. What's going on? I don't want any surgeries, but I did notice that losing 50 pounds got my butt kind of looking deflated. I'm gonna go for squats instead of let's give you some confetti. Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. All right. I love that. Very good. Okay. All right. I love that. You're going to go for the squats instead of the BBL because BBLs are dangerous, honey. They say that's the most dangerous surgery you could have. So there's that, right? Let's see. That is too funny. I said the same thing. She texted me like, what is going on? Oh, this is so sweet. You're a shining star no matter who you are. We love that. Darian coming in with the rhymes and everything. Okay, so you say your best friend and I disagree all the time. I too love diversity in thought and of thought and perspective. Yes, I love that. And that's okay. And I think sometimes people think like you're in a fight when you're disagreeing. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. Let's see. I love that, dear. I'm gonna give you some confetti for that because yeah, we love it. Deary M. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let's see. You are saying otherwise absorption is limited. Sports DEXA scans. Okay. All right. All right, man. I'll have to look up and look at it and see. So you saying it's limited, but not that it doesn't work. So it maybe that little bit is doing something, but I'll have to look and see. Yeah, it has that word, but it has a longer word attached at the end of it. So it says methacobalamin. Whatever your word you put, it's a longer word with the same beginning to it. So this is a good one. Darian, you are so funny. It was a joke. You retired your old habits. Okay, but no judgment over here. I think it's fine. I just think like if you're lecturing somebody, and I mean I'm saying lecturing, not just like the talk, but you got folks that want to lecture people for what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I'm talking about in my own family. Like, don't lecture me and you're drinking about being healthy because you're slim, and we don't even know if you're healthy. You just look slim, but you're drinking every day, all day. Like, back up off me and back up off that 8-pack. I didn't even say a 12-pack. I said the 8-pack. Okay. Again, I love that about myself. I'm not really judgmental about what other folks are doing, but I'm saying once you start lecturing me, then I'm going to have to point out what you're doing. And do we want to do that? Okay. All right. So you would tell me to enjoy my 100-pound, 99-pound maintenance. Now you got some folks to be like, you still fat. You got to keep going. Where are those people at? I want to know who's going to say that. You said, bless your heart. If you like it, I love it. But behind the scenes, we would just. Bellflower. I am not. Well, I am tall in my mind. I'm 5'5". 5'5" with the thick thighs. You know that song they used to, the girl said, I'm 5'5", and I think she said 5'5" with slim thighs or something like that. But I'm with the thick thighs. I am 5'4.5". To be honest, once you get older, you start losing those inches. I don't have any to lose, but I can't afford to lose inches, but I'm losing them. As we speak, I'm probably losing inches on my height. But so I am 5'5", 5'4.5". I keep saying 5'5" because I'm so used to it. Yeah. Jeez Louise. Let's see. Okay. She said, don't get me started on the deflated butt. So you got to be hitting those squats. You got to do those squats, Shani. They say it's certain kind of squats. Yes. Okay. So Mel, wait a minute. So Mel says, I have chosen not to get a breast lift in case anyone was wondering. Seriously though, to each his own. I don't judge, do use, no surgery for me. Yeah, and I feel the same way. But Mel to the B, let me tell you, baby. Jeez, Louise. You probably weren't looking when I first put that up. Here it is. Where's that word? That's why I like Garden of Life. Or I shouldn't say like I love. Dang, it won't. Here it goes. Bam. And it's vegan, Taisha. So yeah, I tell you guys all the time, and hopefully I can keep my quality of life going on retired life, but I like the best of what I can get. If it's the best, I want it. especially if I'm putting it in my body. Jeez, Louise. But you know, how come that is? And then I was eating all the crap food, right? You see how we are. You see how we do. You know, we talk about, you know, we want the best supplements, but meanwhile, I would go and get a fish sandwich from McDonald's. Make it make sense. Jeez, Louise. All right. Okay, so Mel said, yeah, those Garden of Life products are top notch. Absolutely. Okay, those of Shani said, Mel, I'm feeling the same way at this point. No surgery. I'll just keep working out and doing my skincare and taking my injection. I love that. Okay, you said you 5. Oh, can't wait to. Why did I say it like that? Oh, can't wait to validate that though. Yes, I'm 5'4.5". Like, let's add the half to it. And I do wear heels, but I'm gonna flatten it out for you so you can see. Because how tall are you? So you can see that you're actually. I'm probably still taller than you. I gotta get you at something. I'm not getting you with the arms because I'm still gonna have flabby arms when you see me. My stomach probably still gonna be not as big as it is now, but bigger. I don't even know if I'll be under 100, under 200 pounds when you meet me. So I gotta get you with the height. Love it for myself. I love it. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so you said you don't make comments about people's weight, height, choices, or their health. Not my lane, not being beat up. Yes, you know, I just think, yeah, it's appropriate. Let people be who they want to be and who they are. And just help them along. Just be nice and kind. She said, oh, 5'5" with Brown City High. I used to love City High, and then they broke up like all the groups do, right? It's like, geez, Louise, why can't we all just get along? Candy K all day. I love that. She said, hey, y'all. Hey, Candy K. You know, I love your name. Candy K all day. It kind of rhymes. It has like a ring to it. How are you on this Friday? All right. You said, so Bellflower was saying the jury is still out on surgery for me. Jeopardy music playing in the background. Okay. All right. Very good. So people are saying hello. Okay. So let's play it. We kind of talked about should you take it or should you not? We probably lost some folks because, we've been on here since 9 a.m. not for nothing. So we're going to play a quick round. You know, I love to play a nice little game of something. So this is called Qualify or Not. Qualify or Not. So I want to know from you guys, do you think this person qualifies? Not your opinion. Not your opinion. We're going to base it on like what a doctor might say, what Lily Novo may say. Okay, so this is called Qualify for a GLP-1 or Not. So if you think it qualifies, put qualify. If you think it does not, just put not. And if you make the bold letters, I'll really know you really are standing on business. Dang, some of you guys were no joke. You're like, no, you should not be on the GLP-1 if you got 5, 10, or 15 pounds to lose. Well, I love that. You're standing on business with that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So what about this? A 45-year-old woman, she has a BMI of 32. She has no major health issues. Do you think she qualifies or not to take a GLP-1? Now, not what you think, but what do you think a doctor would do or say? So she's 45, she has a BMI of 32, and she has no major health issues. Is she going to qualify for that GLP-1? Now, if your doctor is your cousin and friend, they might give it to you. Mel says, I'm still working. Okay, so, Marjorie. Okay, so my girl, she says, I plan to do a tummy tuck to get rid of the loose skin. Oh, geez. Gosh, you got to tell us about that experience. My son, who's big into fitness, says, no, he says to come out, work out with him. I almost coughed up a lung. Oh, jeez, Louise, you got to tell him to take it a little bit easy on you. He's like, I'm about to work you out, so you're not getting that surgery. Okay, all right. So you said I plan to, so it's not even up for discussion. It's in your plans, huh? Well, good luck. Come on here before you go so we can say a prayer for you. Jeez Louise, and see that belly when it's all done. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right. So Mel says she thinks it's you qualify. Wait, a doctor may say no. Okay. All right. Qualify. Mel is 5'5" and I'm 5'7". Oh, so you guys are both going to be taller than me. I knew you were, Taisha. But Mel, you're 5'5". Okay, so let's see if you're really 5'5". Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I gotta ask Mayor Mindy. Are you taller than Mayor Mindy? Oh, okay. Because I think Mayor Mindy is 5'4". Okay, so you say qualify. You still have 40 pounds to go. Okay, 40 pounds to go before the chummy. So you might change your mind. Okay, so we got elevator has a guider rail. Is a guide rail? It's a guide rail. Oh, okay. How are you? Are you on the GLP-1? Are you just popping in? Okay, 5'9", 3/4. 5'9" and 3/4. You are tall. Jeez, Louise. You're 5'6". All these, I'm gonna be the short one there. Jeez, Louise. I love that. You guys, you flexing with those tall folks. Whatever, says Mel. I stood next to Mindy and Lorraine, and we the same height. Ask Christopher. My legs are long. Well, you ain't got to tell me. I'm looking at your profile pic. But I've seen you. Now, you look like you were on on the shorter side, but are you shorter than Dee Dee? That is the question. Okay, so don't let me pack my 5-inch heels up in here to get to that Dee Dee's meetup. Jeez, look, I'm used to being the shorty, so I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. Okay, so you guys were right. Okay, so okay, my new BFF popped in here and said qualifies. Zepbound is prescribed for BMI 30 and above for weight loss. Okay, all right. She's hitting us with the facts. Okay, all right, very good. She says, lucky you. Your legs are legging. I love that. Okay, so you guys were right. It is qualified. BMI is over 30, and that alone meets the guidelines. Okay, so but if your insurance covers it, that's a whole nother story. All right, what about this one? You guys are smart. What about this one? A man with a BMI of 26, he has no health conditions. So is he going to qualify? He's a man with a BMI of 26. He has no health conditions. Is he qualifying for that GLP-1 or no? He is not. I feel like I didn't came on here and lived my best life. I didn't had an appointment, canceled an appointment, talked to my dad, talk to you guys. Okay. So, and when I get to hour 3, I'm going to be out of here. If I could last that long, I'm trying to last for 3 hours. I won't see you guys again live until Wednesday. Okay, so OD is coming in and saying no, they're not going to qualify. Bellflower says no. Taisha says no. All right, what do you guys think? Major reason, she said she used to want to be shorter. You always want what you can't have. Isn't that so true? Now everybody wants to be tall. Jeez Louise, I'm breaking my neck in heels trying to get to your height. You said you'll be by yourself because I'm not wearing heels traveling. No, I won't travel in them. I'm just going to put them on when I see you. I'm going to have flats in my hand. And when I see Mel, I'm going to put on those heels. I'm not traveling in heels. No, ma'am. Something go down on that plane. I got to be mobile. I got to be able to get around. I am doing fine on this Sunday. Happy Friday. I'm used to being on here on a Sunday or Wednesday. So happy Friday. It's good to be on a Friday. Okay, so you're 5'1.5". You say 5'2". Okay, so I'm going with 5'5". Jeez, Louise, you said I'm working and giggling. I'm glad I made you guys laugh. I cracked myself up today too. So you guys are saying, no, 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 you are right. This person is not going to qualify. Why? Because the BMI is too low and they have no medical conditions. So you won't be getting that Zepbound. I'm sorry. So how are the people that have 10 to 15 pounds to lose, how are they getting it? Is it because they're going on the compounds? What's up with that? Tangy, my kind of girl. She says, "Don't worry, I'm 5'1.5", so I'm always the shortest." Dag, if you were coming on that DD meetup, I was standing right. I would be holding your hand, standing right next to you. Come with me. Let's go together. I can look. Jeez, Louise. Okay, yes, elevator. I am trying to lose weight. I am. I've lost 86 pounds. So I'm on the downhill trend. So I'm trying to get to that 100 pounds down. And I'm going to set a goal and declare it. Declare it. Because if I don't set a goal, I won't get to it. I'll just be willy-nilly, So yeah, my next DD's live on Sunday where I give my update. It's going to be toward the end of this month. I'm going to officially set a goal, and guess what? I'm going to reach that. I'm going to tell you when I'm going to do it by, and then I'm just going to dedicate myself to doing it. I was trying to, give myself grace, go easy on myself. No. Enough of that. I got to pick this up. And it starts today. When I get off this live, I'm going to record a video. When I have to finish one up, and then I have to record a video. And then what time is it? So I'll be off by noon. So when I get off this live, and then I'm going to do that, maybe it'll take me to 1:30 to record that what I want to record. And then I'm going to clean out my cabinets, and all the stuff that must go. It's going to be like a sale up in here. And I'm going to put it in a bag, take it to work with me on Monday, give it to the pantry, and just kind of, start fresh with what I'm doing. I saw that dietitian, and that dietitian, I'm telling you, I liked her. Cheers to her. And so I'm going to make a video about that. And that's not what I plan on recording today, but maybe I'll record that today. Yeah, that's what I have to finish one, and I'm going to record what I met with the dietitian. Maybe I'll put that in there, but I'm going to come on live too and talk about it, because people, I realize, are invested in my weight loss. And my weight loss plan just said, no, baby, you're not stopping at 199. I thought that was so funny. She's like, I won't embarrass you on here, but just wait till you get off that live. I will tell you about yourself. Gee, now see, that's what somebody that cares about you does. They don't embarrass you online. They call you behind the scenes. Like, what are you doing? Okay, so let's go with this one. You guys are so smart. Okay, how about this one? This woman has a BMI of 28. No, it's a 28. She has high blood pressure. Is she going to qualify for that GLP-1? Have a good day, Shani. Thank you. Shani, I don't know when you go live and stuff. Like, I got to, when I get out of school, I'll be able to track you down. But right now, I'm not sure when you're on or not. So I got to come over there. But I want to come to a live, an actual live when you're in living color. So, yeah, I'm trying to catch that. But have a great day, Shani. Journey, how are you? Oh, your sister is 5'9", Mel? Jeez Louise. I love that. Love that for her. Okay, so what about this? A woman her BMI is 28, because I think we got a lot of this going on with people taking these GLP-1s. She has high blood pressure. Is she going to qualify? If you were a doc, and not, let's pretend you were a doc. Are you writing the script? Does she qualify or not? Yes, I am on early. I am. Journey. I love being on early. I feel like it's like, geez Louise, you guys, you're like, she has a lot of energy at 8:30, but geez Louise, you probably couldn't handle me at 9 a.m. every day. Some people who are like groggy, just getting out of the bed, I might be too much. Okay. I'm prompt too. Just catch a replay. Yeah, but that's okay. I'll be able to probably catch a live when I'm off work and have more time to like track you down, sister. I'm gonna be tracking you down. Okay. And I'm invested in seeing how you're doing too on your journey. You're just looking good, looking fabulous. And I just love the energy, the vibes, and just the reminder that God is good. How about that? Okay. All right. She should, but insurance will probably not pay for it. No, ma'am, because they always got to be extra. You were right, Ange. They do. Okay. All right. You were on the wrong one. Oh, you were on the vertical chat. Okay. All right. Very good. Oh, this is a long live stream. People are going to see this and you're like, we're not clicking on this. This lady was talking for 3 hours. Okay. All right. You say, no, she will not qualify. Okay. Ooh, people are telling their height. 5. She's 5'1" and her sister is 5'8". How did the sister get the tallness going on? Geez, Louise. I love that. Okay, so you guys, you were right. If you said she would qualify, she would. Her BMI, because you can remember, you could have a BMI of 27 and you could have another comorbidity. And remember, the comorbidities were, it also could be, you know, some doctors also give them for metabolic issues, which I know a lot of people are going for that. So let me just read the list again. All right. So high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, and sleep apnea. Those are kind of like the top 4 where, you know, a comorbidity that you could have. But they say some doctors are prescribing it if you have metabolic issues, which include your blood sugar control. The diabetes is the A1C, but blood sugar control issues, insulin resistance, appetite control. It's not about the weight. It's really about what's happening in your body. So if you have a doctor that's looking at it in that comprehensive kind of a way, you're all good, right? Because they're going to be looking at all the things. So I love that. All right, what about this one? This was tricky. Are you ready? A woman with a BMI of 31, but she wants to do a quick weight loss fix and doesn't want to change her habits. But her BMI is 31. Could she qualify? Now, I want to know if you guys are going to get this. Ooh, my new BFF is the hand. Okay, she got hers in there. What do you got? I'm going to read that again. So this woman has a BMI of 31. But she wants a quick weight loss fix and she doesn't want to change her habits. Is she going to qualify or not? Too funny. Oh, Taisha. Taisha, you are the friend that I always have. What's that song where he called is it immature? What's the name of that song? What the girl's name wasn't Taisha, but it reminds me of Taisha. Was it Maisha? You guys know that song I'm talking about? It's like a little boy band that used to sing that. Now, Taisha, that's a question for you who knows all this. Aisha, was it Aisha? Aisha. Okay. Taisha. Okay. All right. So you guys are super smart. Let me say what you're putting up here. So Live a Healthy Life says she will qualify. She will be offered a statin. Okay. Ooh. She will not qualify, you said. She will be offered a statin. Okay. Mel says nope. Okay. Bellflower says she's going to qualify. She qualified, but it won't help her. Yeah, right, because she's not doing those lifestyle things. Okay. Journey said, okay. She's the shortest. Okay. They say the older sister is always the shortest, and that's in my case. Okay. All right. All right. So you're saying she qualifies. Okay. Hex to the no, she won't. Okay, so this is interesting. What are you saying? Ooh, she's saying Leisha. Okay. I don't know. Okay, D is saying qualify. Okay, so technically she would qualify, right? Because she met that threshold of 30. She's at a 31. So she met the threshold. So she's officially obese, right? So she will qualify, but like Taisha said, she's not going to be successful. She's not going to be able to maintain, whatever she loses on that, because if she comes off, she's going to go back to all those things she was doing because she never incorporated the healthy lifestyle. So that is the technical correct answer. I mean, give or take, but no, she qualified, but it really won't help her. And we know some people can take this medicine and eat any kind of way they want and lose initially, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. Eventually it'll catch up. So, and there might be outliers, if there are outliers, we get that, but most people aren't going to do well on that. All right, what about this one? A woman has a BMI of 29. She struggles with constant food noise and she has tried everything. She doesn't have any other health conditions, though, that we know of. Is she going to qualify? Ooh, this is the tricky one. So a woman has a BMI of 29. She struggles with constant food noise and she has tried everything. She doesn't have any other comorbidities that we know of. Will she qualify? Okay, so for this last one, Darium is saying, what if the lady before that changes her mind after starting the meds? Could her taste buds change due to new taste? That's possible. That's possible. So, but if she doesn't change anything, she won't be successful. But she could change. She could get on this medicine and say, hey, this medicine, I'm feeling better. I'm gonna change my eating habits and do what I'm supposed to do. So maybe. Or maybe she might be one of those ones, Darium, who doesn't do all the things, loses whatever she wanted to lose, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, and then she gets off the medication and gains it all back. Those that don't gain it back usually are the ones that are doing, making those lifestyle changes. So hopefully she does what you says, because that would be, a more positive way to look at it. So thank you for offering that. All right, so the next question, Darium, tackle this one. This woman has a BMI of 29. She struggles with constant food noise and she has tried everything. She doesn't have any comorbidities. So is she qualifying or not? Okay, so D says qualified. Mel says no. Purple Bellflower says no. Taisha says no. Dang, I wish she would, but they won't give it to her. Pat says she qualifies. Docs may offer her, is it Casemia? Contrave. She doesn't qualify for GLP-1s based on the scenario. Okay, so this is where they say your doctor can come in handy dandy, because they say your doctor could take a deeper look at what's causing you to have a BMI even at 29, because you're still overweight. So remember, when we say the GLP-1s are for the obese and overweight, she would qualify as overweight. So your doctor could look at that and go with her, appetite. Is she having this food noise going on? So isn't that funny that food noise can play into it? So if you had it, and that's why I say the doctor really matters. If you have a doctor that could be really creative with what they have going on and not just look at the weight and look at some other things. And maybe it's not a condition like some of the ones we named. Maybe it's another kind of condition that they might have going on. So maybe the doctors could be looking at your hormones too. That's a thing. So yeah. And see, that's the thing. This is the situation my dad is in, being offered something else first and then trying that. So that one was a tricky one. Is it Kesemia? Cusemia. Leisha. It's Leisha. Leisha, you are the girl that I never had, and I want to get to know you better. Okay, I thought it said I like Taisha better. They might want to change those lyrics. How about that? Oh my goodness, that's too funny. Okay, Pat comes in with no because the BMI is under 30. All right, let's do one more. Someone has a BMI of 24. So if you're at a 24, aren't you still, you're overweight. No, you're 24, you're normal. Jeez, Louise. Cusemia. Okay. Cusemia. Okay. All right. That's a phonics I can work with. Swin. Swin. Mel has hit me with that fancy phonics. I need the straight up now tell me phonics. My daughter is sounding out words and she's like, this doesn't make sense. I said, no, but we got to go with it because that's just the English language. Jeez, Louise. Okay, all right. So Taisha said the doctor can prescribe whatever he wants, but the insurance company may not cover it if certain recommendations aren't met. Absolutely. That insurance has to kick in. I said that earlier too, Taisha. Yeah, we're saying what the doctor may do, but what is that insurance company saying? Oh, geez, Louise. They override the doctors of it all. Step therapy is a thing, unfortunately. Yes. Yeah, and that's what my dad is experiencing right now. Okay, so this person, you're saying no, they will not qualify. Oh yeah, insurance loves to hit you with a list of drugs to try first. Isn't that so annoying? Aisha. That okay, Aisha. I remember that. It is Aisha. It should be Taisha. That makes more sense to me. Jeez, Louise. Okay. All right. Mail to the B. Thank you for stopping in. Everybody probably has to go, but me and my retired friends. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so let me tell you the answer to that. So somebody who has a BMI of 24, they want to lose 10 to 15 pounds for appearance only, they get a no. Flat out no. There is no maneuvering. This is not what the medication was designed for. And so that's what the research is saying. That's what Lilly and Novo say. It's not what the medication, and I think in their on their site, it says that too. They talk about, remember that FDA letter, the whole FDA and the letter they put out, they say these medications are not designed for cosmetic type of, looking a certain way. So that's from them. That's not DD. Okay. Okay. No, ma'am. We got to put that out there. Oh, your friends used to sing Taisha. That is so smart. That's what I'm gonna be singing if I hear that song. No, ma'am, denied. She got a big denied. Yes. So, but I wonder, can you go to get the compounds if you're denied? Will they give it to you? Are you are you not being honest to the compound pharmacies? Are they getting info to make sure you can qualify? What's going on with that? Because it is people who are getting this medication and they're not, they just have that 5, 10, 15 pounds to lose. So, again, I will say, to wrap this up, you guys, this has been an honor being on here. I still got 2 minutes because my goal is to be on here for 3 hours. But I will say, before we leave, I just think access is key. I think prevention is key, though. I think you should be trying to prevent people from becoming obese, becoming overweight, and then becoming obese. And if you prevent people from becoming overweight, people are going to have access that are, maybe 30 pounds in. But I say if you got high blood pressure, you got diabetes, you got, high A1C, it doesn't matter how small you are, those things need, a treatment. And so I like to think of the medication as a treatment, not just, as a medication we're taking. It's a treatment for obesity and being overweight. And if you're in the normal range and you have some other things going on, eventually it's going to catch up. Because remember, when I was 300 pounds, I used to tell you guys, I was, walking around in my heels thinking I was fabulous. Like, I'm not going to ever become diabetic. I'm not going to get high blood pressure. That stuff hits you. Once your weight starts creeping up, everything else starts creeping up and everything else catches up with you. So I'd say preventative, medication, and that's probably not where the money is, but that's where the money needs to be. How about that? It's not where it is, but it is where it needs to be. So yeah, we want to prevent things from happening, just like with everything else. Obesity and overweight is no different. So with that said, you guys, thanks for rocking with me. If you hung out for 3 hours, drop a heart in the chat. Because geez, Louise, you rocked with me the whole time. I know Mel would have been in here, but she had to go. So I appreciate you guys. If you stayed on 20 minutes, I appreciate it. Just thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe. And remember, being kind is free. So dish it out. Dish it out. Dish it out like it's free. Have a great day. Bye.